A great change of our psychological attitude is imminent.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I know this doesn't make any sense, but it will in just a second. It will. I hope.
Well, while the trash truck goes on, Fonzie. I'm going to call you Fonzie probably through the past. And like, I don't even know where Fonzie came from.
Oh, that's so...
Was that Lucan?
No. I played college football.
Okay. Were you the ball?
I was the ball. I just got kicked around.
Yeah.
What's that old joke? I was end guard and tackle. I sat on the end of the bench, guard the water, tackle anybody that came near.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so I used to have long, flowy hair, believe it or not. All good. And one day I'm moving into my dorm and a teammate sees me with my sister who's helping me move in.
Okay.
And he doesn't, we don't know each other, but he just sees me with her.
Yeah.
Next day I saw this, I was hanging out with this other girl that I met on campus that same day. We're hanging out and we're hanging out together and he sees me again.
Yeah.
So then that night we're doing the team meeting, first team meeting, all the new players like, hello. So I stand up and I'm like, my name's Alex from New Orleans, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I saw you with two different girls 2 days. You're like Fonzie.
Yeah.
And coaches, everything, it just started there. And I thought it was funny. And, when you're a kid, you want anything. Okay, I'm standing out.
Yeah.
I was like, call me Fonzie. I'm Fonzie. And it just happened all through college. So the only people that call me Fonzie are people I met right after college.
Okay.
Or people that knew me. So everybody who knew me, I became Fonzie, right? I started doing stand-up. I would be Fonzie Cureau because it sounded fucking great.
Yeah, it is a good stage name.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
Now it's just so dumb to have a stage name when you first start, right?
Yeah. It's like giving yourself a nickname.
So the buddy I'm staying with a friend, and he is one of the only people that call Yorgo. You met him, yeah, Yorgo.
Yeah.
He calls me Fonzie because he knew me back then.
I love it.
When you call me Fonzie downstairs, I'm like, oh, that's right. We've known each other a while.
Yeah, dude. Well, we met on the set of Wounds, the horror movie that we shot in New Orleans. Blottadia, it was called at the time, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is Blottadia?" Apparently, it's the Latin word for cockroach. But we met because you were working with one of the producers on the show.
Well, I was technically working for Babak.
Oh, okay.
But of course, that producer just who wanted,
Oh, yeah. He got in there.
They're mine. And I was like, well, whoever's.
Yeah.
But I just happened to be around, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's how we met in New Orleans, dude, my hometown.
That's right, dude. You are about as New Orleans as anyone I've ever met. Because like when you text, you're like, how you doing? You good to go? And you spell it Geaux always. And I'm just like, fuck, you are from New Orleans.
That's just funny, right?
Yeah.
It's funny to do.
I'm getting. Okay, so basically we met when you were assisting the director and the producers on Wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a wild time shooting that movie, which we can get into. But then we've stayed buddies, and it's been really interesting for me and amazing and encouraging and exciting and all those things.
Buddies for a while, remember?
You thought we weren't friends because I changed my phone number about 8 times.
Should?
Yeah, I needed that was out of necessity.
I was like, hey man, just check. I was like, literally, when it all went down, I was like, I texted you the sweetest thing. I was like, I know your heart. I know we don't know each other that well. I hate to see this happen. I know your heart. I know you are. I just want to let you know I'm here, blah, and just never heard from you for like 2 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right. By the way, I have a lot of people in my life who say that same story. I am not good about this.
Including me, by the way.
Yeah, that's also true.
Producer Jerry?
Listen, dude, no one's safe. I'm icing out everybody in that instance.
So then you hit me up on Instagram like 2 years ago and were like, hey man, just checking in. How you been? I saw your career's going great. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, hey man, nice to see you. And I was like, I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
But it was really nice because you were always one of the first people I met in the business that I was like, there's just a dude.
Yeah.
There's a guy, a kindred spirit.
Yeah. And I felt that, man.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm so happy about for you is like we met in this weird, crazy time, and it was a bizarre, wild set, and it just felt like there were no rules at all. Like none.
No, I realized at the time, one of the line producer gave me a very good speech when I went to him with like just upset because of how I was getting treated. Like it was just a weird.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's actually something I think about a lot. Brian.
Yeah.
Brian,
yeah.
I wonder what he's doing now. But he goes, I go in there, I'm just complaining to him. I'm trying not to complain. I'm just like, I'm very emotional because I'm new to the business. I'm trying to make it right. You're young. And I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of. And I feel like I'm being treated poorly. I feel like I'm getting blamed for a lot. And so I go in there.
To be fair, you were being treated very poorly.
Well, but Bach was great.
Bobak was great.
Yeah.
There was one person on set who was hard on
Hunter McHugh.
you. Yeah. Hard on you.
Yeah, and it was just, and so I was like, am I nuts? I think I have to quit, man. I just can't. He goes, don't quit. He goes, I've been in this business a long time. You're going to be in this business much longer than that person. And he goes, you work hard. You're a good person. People like you. You're funny. You're personable, but you work hard, and you can tell you really try to get things.
Yeah.
And some people do think, some people will treat you a certain way because they don't like what they see in you because it's not in them.
Yeah.
And so he just gave me, just sat me down and gave me that. And he was like, you'll be in this business much longer than he will.
Yeah.
And it really, I was like, all right. And it really changed my idea of what this is and should be.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I started really, like, I say loving, but becoming more, I just started hanging around you more.
Yeah.
Because I started looking for it he's like, you'll notice some people in this business are this or this. And you and Babak and like some other guys on that, like Hunter became a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Just became a thing where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it really kind of, I think if it wasn't for that speech, I probably wouldn't even be doing stand-up just because I would have been like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, you can still be who you don't have to be this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you know.
It's a really interesting thing because I feel like that exists in every business. The sort of like, you have to become this thing as opposed to being yourself. And like you see it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see it with tech bros. You see it with finance bros.
Yeah.
Where it's like they just become this stereotype.
Well, with stand-up. So, I do stand-up. I do stand-up on the road a lot. And you find
you're on like a world tour.
Was. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll come back and do it again. But it's weird because you start dressing the way you think you have to. You start kind of telling, like, it takes a while to understand, like, okay, I'm this person. I know I'm around and they're friends. I love these people. I do, but like, I'm like, you don't have to fit into with them. They're your friend. If you're friends with them, they'll accept you and whatever. You can start being and behaving yourself. And that's when everything started changing for stand up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to go buy, I don't have to wear Jordans. I should look the way I am.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's a really interesting aspect of that too, because like when you're actually really just comfortable being yourself is when you do the best work, period,
100%.
across the board.
Yeah.
And so much of comedy is sort of like observational, right? And like what you think and what
your observations.
You think and what you feel about this. And if you're trying to be someone else, you're trying to pass whatever you're thinking through this prism of how is this character that I'm building for myself? How do they think about things? As opposed to what's my legit opinion about this?
Do you want to talk? Because that's a way, it's a good perspective on it. I started thinking about stand-up like that. It made me worse because then I was too over analytical. Oh. And then I became, what's funny, another good comic guy named Eric Griffin, he was like, you look like a comic. And when you're up there, you act like a comic and you have jokes and you can tell you know what you're doing. But what's funny to you? And why is it funny to you?
Right.
And that's all. It becomes like when I go on stage. There's two things I tell myself. I say, just tell the truth and have fun.
Yeah.
And if I just do those two things, it means I'm just. How do I? And if a crowd doesn't get what I'm saying, I don't go, I suck. The joke's not good. I go, okay, how do I explain it better?
Yeah. Did you ever read Rick Rubin's book?
Oh yes. No, not Rick Rubin. No, the
The
that's a new book
producer.
that came out recently.
Yeah, maybe like a year or two
I stopped
ago.
reading like during COVID.
Yeah, I
I lost my smell and taste. I was like, I lost my reading.
But he has a thing that he talks about where he's like, Rick Rubin's like, I don't know a bunch about music.
Oh, I have seen this excerpt.
I don't know how to play instruments. I don't know how to work a control board, but I know what I like.
Yep.
And if I just follow what I like, it's almost like there's
and he knows what he has such a good way of identifying. This is one thing people who like give Rick Rubin shit. I'm like, you cannot deny all these very good, very talented artists.
Yeah.
Go to him.
Yeah.
And they don't just go to him, they stay with him. They
make their best album with him.
But
it's everything from
he knows how to pull
System
it out
of a Down to Jay-Z to Johnny Cash. Like the fact that he can do all that is
Red
insane.
Hot Chili Peppers are him.
Yeah.
People don't get that.
Apparently, when he's in a recording session, he lays on a couch with his eyes closed.
Yeah, have you seen the videos of him working with, I think it's 21 Savage? It's like a rapper.
Yeah.
He's just barefoot on a bed, Indian style, just talking to him like, I think you should do it this way. And then he turns around the guy and just starts rapping like gangster lyrics.
Yeah.
And it turns back to Rick Rubin. He's like, what do you think people are going to feel about this?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But there is something, and like I've found this too, like there really is something that feels like magic that starts to happen once you actually start to listen to yourself and follow your own intuition and really sort of like decide that you're just
When did you hit that?
a couple years ago.
Did you lose it?
No.
Never,
I
okay.
came close to losing it,
Okay.
and I'll tell you about that.
Yeah.
I think the thing that made me go through that was it was almost like I was vaccinated against having to care what people thought about me because everyone just thought the worst.
No, I'm talking about when did you start feeling what we're talking about right now? Did you ever feel that in your career, or was it after?
After.
Oh, and
After.
Are you mad at yourself? Or are you happy? Is that one of the lessons you take as a good thing?
Oh, it's a great thing. I
Okay.
think that all of these lessons are great things.
Yeah, dude, it's weird.
And like all of the pain
Yeah.
is a great
They're
thing.
not losses, they're lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's that great quote. I think it might have been Edison where he said, every time I fall.
Oh, Edison.
Yeah. Listen, bro, this is a serious podcast, bro. I think it was Thomas Edison who said, every time I fall on my face, I move 6 feet forward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A little bit of
Now, aren't you glad I brought up the quote,
every time I fall on my face, I move 5-7 forward.
Yeah. But it's this, you know,
Oh, sorry.
that for me, it was like, no one's giving me good things. Everyone is just giving me hate, and that's fine. So now I just have to learn how to give myself those good things.
When you say everyone, like, you don't have to call anybody. I'm just because we've talked about it. I'm sure you've talked about it on the pod. I don't want to hammer it home.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. I don't want to hammer that point away because I'm sure you get tired of talking about it. But I'm curious legitimately curious, because we talked a little bit about when I saw you at the Improv.
Yeah.
What did you lean into? Or did you kind of feel yourself disappear, or because you went away, you went to the islands.
Yeah, I disappeared. I lived on a farm, bro, with a bunch of Jamaicans. I was out there.
Yeah, dude.
I had a flip phone.
Oh, dude, the dream.
Yeah.
It really is.
My flip phone's in that drawer right there. And I looked at it this morning when I was like putting something away, and I saw my flip phone, and I was like, should I go back to that?
Hey, I should text her.
I should text her.
Yeah.
Hey, you up?
Yeah. Hey, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off because I'm so excited. Did you disappear in anything, or what did you lean into? Or was it that?
I think I really leaned into the work.
Yeah.
Like really figuring out who I was, why I did the things that I did, what that meant, what holes in my life I was trying to fill. I was trying to fill a lot of holes, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying.
I heard.
But then I also had amazing people around me, and I think that was like a huge
Family, friends, like old, or people that you met there.
It was a combination.
Okay.
Like the people in my life, like my real friends, I didn't lose a single one of them when everything went down. Like there was not a single friend in my life who was like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I got to pull away. Whereas all of my industry friends, like they went radio silent, and that's fine, you know. And I understand why. And by the way, I don't blame them for it. Like they're just trying to protect themselves in the best way possible.
Also, here's the thing: is they also look at you as an industry friend. They go, I would rather radio silence than being like, I kind of like let me figure it out and you figure it out. Well, as long as you don't start talking shit.
Right. And there wasn't really a lot of people who started talking shit. A couple jokes here and there, and like, I mean, it's just recently on SNL they made like a cannibal joke, which I think is hilarious.
Wait, on the 50?
I'm
gonna say good for you.
It wasn't the 50, but it was the season opening of this year.
Oh, nice. They made a joke about you.
Yeah.
You're in the zeitgeist.
Listen, dude.
People don't get now.
Once a name, always a threat, buddy.
But once it becomes a joke now,
yeah.
It's a weird thing. People are. Again, I hate hammering away a hammer. I hate getting to this point of a cancel culture because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard to cancel somebody that has a fan base.
Yeah.
Which is why people are, because people are going to go, Armie's in a movie.
Well, I think it's different. I think it's harder to cancel people now because there is so much opportunity for direct to consumer. So these people have direct access to their fans.
Yes.
And I hate the word fans. And their fans have direct access to their fans.
This is a conversation I was having last night.
Dude, the word fans, like literally.
Followers, is that better? Or appreciates?
Yeah. I like disciples.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Followers.
Yeah. But like people who use
children.
People who say yes, my children. People who say the word fans, like, oh, my fans in everyday conversation, I'm just like, great, good to know you're not my kind of person. Like that's totally.
I catch myself sometimes when I'm just talking about moments, after shows or whatever. I'm like, I was with a fan, and I always go, But
Yeah.
that to me is okay, because I'm not gonna say I was with a person, but
Right.
fan instantly puts you in that moment. But people are like, well, my fans think this. I go,
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
What do you think?
I get it. I get it. It's tough. It's tough. But like you have direct access to those people now, whether it be through a podcast that you shoot in your apartment or like whatever your social media presence is. So the people who got canceled, who had already sort of like mastered that thing, were already right back to work, because they could just like, I know a guy who's a stand-up comedian and he got canceled in a big public way. And I had a conversation with him when I got canceled. And I was like, because, you know, the canceled, we all stick together. But we have like a secret handshake.
It's like everything. I get it. You go, who can I reach? But then this person,
well, who gets what I've been
He reached out to you, right?
No, I reached out, or we were connected by someone else.
I know another comic that also got something happen to him. This person you're talking about reached out to them to be like, hey, look, you're going to be fine.
I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah.
And I've been dealing with that guy as well. Great.
No shit.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, the canceled people all kind of stick together.
Oh, it's awesome.
Well, because it's like, it's a very
Except
rare...
Harvey Weinstein. Everybody's
No, he's on his own.
It's funny. Everybody that kind of got canceled, or everybody that kind of got attacked for thing like a mistake, I think that's a culture that's
it's a different thing.
We know how to, yeah.
But like when you've raped like 30 people and then you get busted for it, you're not one of us. You're the bad guy who got you.
You're the guy that's making this hard for me.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
But this stand-up comedian who I know was like, listen, man, he's like, it's really tough for you. He's like, for me, he's like, if I want to go work, I can go rent out a full theater on my own, sell the tickets on my own, fill the seats with asses of people who want to be there to see me. And then there we go. And everyone can go, well, you're canceled. And he's like, well, I just did a fucking sold out show in New Jersey. Some people who all showed up.
That's a good point. They don't give a shit.
They don't give a fuck, dude. But his point to me was, he's like, it's very different for me because I can go do what I do whenever I want to do it.
Okay.
He goes, for you as an actor, you need a script, you need a director, you need producers, you need maybe a studio, you need financiers, you need distributors, you need a sound department, a lighting department, you need all these people to go, we will do this with you.
Yeah.
And the problem is,
we want to do this with you.
Yeah. People want to work, and people like don't give a shit.
They don't.
You know, they really just don't.
Yeah.
That's
why there's also a lot of that when somebody does get cancer, is put in your situation, people go, all right, because they also don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They go, okay, whatever. We're not working with him, whatever. Well, I don't give a shit. Either way.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on this. I just want to work.
Yeah. My buddy Chris, who's one of the producers on this podcast, he's got a really interesting take on this where he's like, all of the businesses' morality that they're sort of like grandstanding on, this ivory tower, like, oh, they did something that the people don't like, we will never work with him again. He goes, it's such hollow bullshit. He goes, the only reason they're not working with you right now is because they don't see you as a viable commodity. Like, they don't think they can make money off you.
100%.
The minute you become profitable again, they're all going to forget their moralities and just go, well, we have something for you. We would love to have you back in. And we're so happy about your comeback.
There's I hate to call it a movie, Oppenheimer. Did you watch Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
That scene where he goes, they're going to tear you down. They're going to do this. And then they're going to give you an award if you listen. And it's not going to be for you.
Yeah.
It's going to be for them.
Yeah.
They want to go, look how good we are. Look at us putting them back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's fuck this goddamn shit.
It's bizarre.
You know how many farms I can go to?
I do indeed. Do
you ever keep in touch with those people?
It's tough, man, because like I was on a flip phone, but like some of them were like no phones.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it's like just living off the land.
Yeah. When you're there, why not?
And I did go back recently to the Cayman Islands, and I went to go see if any of the people that I was like working with were still there, and everybody it's a very transient sort of like thing.
Oh, I see so it was just people coming in through the wow.
Yeah.
Looking for a way out, looking for a break.
Yeah. Wow. I'm here in the Cayman Islands. My family's in Jamaica. I need to make some money to send home, or need to send a barrel. That's a big thing between the Cayman Islands and Jamaica. They send barrels. You know those big blue plastic barrels?
Yeah.
You ship barrels back and forth. So like
full of shit.
Full of shit.
Oh wow.
Everything from cereal to soup to t-shirts to whatever, and you ship barrels back and forth.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's actually
pirate-like. What's that?
Very pirate-like.
Dude, it's the Caribbean, bro. It is.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
It is. It's very piratey.
modern with the Blue Barrel. I would,
Yeah.
I would prefer a wooden. I want to crack it with a crowbar.
There's pirate caves in the Cayman Islands where like they found pirate treasure and all that shit. It's a trip.
I mean, all that shit. Wow.
But yeah, like so I went to go look for people and I didn't find anybody, but that's all right. I still have a lot of friends down there. And all
sure,
so.
yeah. I mean, you've been there a bunch.
Yeah.
It's just man. So back to what we were talking about too with stand-up is like you're right. It's just a thing where I can do this. Who's with me?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like that's what I like about stand-up.
Yeah.
Is I got it right. Who's with me?
So I have questions about sort of like the world of stand-up. So you are really catching your stride in an amazing way.
Trying, yeah.
Yeah, but dude, it's fucking awesome to see. Like, as your friend, like, I have a bunch of friends in LA who have said, like, I'm going to be a stand-up comic. Like my buddy Tyler Ramsey. He was doing like stand-up for a little bit.
I did not know that.
And Tyler was doing stand-up and it was terrible. But it was hilarious.
That's how it starts, man.
It has to be terrible. Like even in acting.
It doesn't have to be, but it's not a thing that you'll fail.
Yeah,
it's just like anything. If you're not good at something, it doesn't mean you're like, I guess I'm not good at it.
Right.
So
right. It's a skill that you have to develop.
Some people are amazing, like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
like
right.
Some people just fucking. Dave Chappelle was good at the start, right?
Yeah.
Seinfeld talks about. He's like, I never really bombed. Some people just write. They understand how to do it. They can do it.
Yeah.
There's just some people that are naturally fucking great. But you look at guys like a Louis C.K., who for years was everyone in New York, every comic in New York fucking loved Louis.
Yeah. He was Seinfeld's opener, I think, for a minute.
Yeah, all those. Yeah. But no one knew who he was. Wasn't famous. Didn't tour. And then all of a sudden, just something. He just doesn't stop. He continues to be who he is.
Yeah.
And then it just cracked. But I'm using him just because he's in my mind right now. But there's so many stories of that. Like, I could go the next 10 years with nobody knowing who I am. But if I make it's really just you want to do it to where it's the only thing you have to do. And right now,
but you're also building goodwill because you're showing up at shows, you're there on time, you're delivering, you're doing your thing, and then. It's interesting. Like when I first started acting, someone gave me really good advice. And I don't remember who. They said, you don't have to be better than the person next to you. You just have to outlast them.
100%.
Because
which sucks, kind of. Right?
It sucks. And I don't know how it works with stand-up, but I know that in Hollywood, there's about a 6 to 8 year period where you're going to go on 5,000 auditions and you're going to be told no every single time. Or maybe you'll be told yes and you'll get a role and then you show up and they go, oh, you're playing student number 2 and you're in the background. That happened to me. I was student number 2. Yeah. Literally on Arrested Development. But yeah.
You don't hold any hard feelings about that, do you?
Fucking Arrested Development. No, but I was thrilled about it. But like, of course. But it's the person standing next to you wants the exact same thing that you want. But if after 5 years of being told no, they go, you know what? Fuck this. Like, this business is bullshit. I'm now just going to be angry about it and say that everything is nepotism because that's the only excuse for why I didn't succeed and like all that shit, right? Yeah. But that person drops out at 5 years and 2 months. At 5 years and 3 months, a casting director is going to walk out and go, we need someone for this. Oh, Fonzie, I've seen you a bunch of times. You're pretty good. Why don't you come on in and just do this?
Who just left? I don't worry about them.
Yeah. Fuck, I was here to talk to Brady. Hey, he's gone. He left.
He actually said, fuck this place.
Yeah.
But no, dude, stand-up is the same way. That's why I say it kind of sucks. Because you want.
How long is that period on stand-up?
Oh, it depends, right? Like some guys take forever.
Yeah.
But there's guys now, like Nate Bargatze was doing stand-up for 17 years.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like before, 16 years before anybody ever goes like, he had a special out that was doing pretty well. And he was selling out clubs. People don't get, there's like an obscurity level of when you find your fans, your base, and you find the people that like what you're saying. You can live off that. That can be your thing. There's so many different levels to making it. Right? If you're an actor and you book 2-3 times a month, is that making it? If it pays your bills, you're making it. As an actor, you're making it.
Yeah.
Like I'm making it.
I think that being it as an actor, you have made it as an actor when you can actually pay for your life based only off of your salary as an actor.
That's anything, right?
Yeah.
And then there's levels. Now he made it as a star. Yeah. Now he made it as a celeb. Like there's different levels of making it, but making it starts at, is this the only thing you do? You've made it. Right? Yeah. If this is all you have to do for work and living, you've made it.
Yeah. So how long did that take you?
I got fortunate.
Yeah.
Because I started going on the road with a good friend and I started going on the road with Matt.
Yeah.
So I got fortunate there, but I was working. That's the other thing. People are like, well, how the fuck how'd that happen? How'd that happen? I go, we were friends. I just called and was like, I saw you're going to be in Houston. This is when we were small potatoes, right? Like sharing couches, sleeping in the same bed, taking 28B on Spirit flights.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's still like, people are like, you made it. I go, look, man, it's all, even now, I come out here, I come out here to do small little things, but it's just about every day.
Yeah.
This is my life now. It's not like I could be back home just doing spots, but I'm in LA. I'm on fucking a great podcast with a friend.
Yeah.
I have a show at the Laugh Factory tonight. I had a show at the store last night, and I got to meet and just hang out. And it's just about people going, he's working and he's funny.
Yeah.
I got
to give it to you, man. You are really funny. Like when I went and saw you perform, like the minute you got on stage, I was like, oh fuck, Fonzie's a comic.
Yeah, dude,
like,
right?
Before you started, I was like, okay, if this is no good, what do I say to Fonzie?
100%. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I was doing the materials, I'm like, oh. And so then in my mind, this is a weird little trick. I go, don't let it, even Yorgo's going to see me in a couple of years and do stand-up release. We hung out of it. He hasn't come to shows. I go, don't let them down.
Yeah.
A little bit like, make them laugh.
Okay, so how much does that fuck with you? Because I did a couple plays on Broadway, and our stage manager would never, because people show up, you'll get celebrities or you'll get whatever, and they'll show up. And the stage manager knows whoever the fuck is there. But our stage manager would never tell us before the show who was there. And then as soon as we walked off stage, she would go, hey, great show. Jerry and Linda Bruckheimer are here to see you.
Nice.
And you go, oh, I'm so glad you didn't tell me that beforehand. I would have been thinking about that the entire show.
Here's the crazy thing is, if you're on set, does that fuck with you?
Well, when we were on set together, I was so drunk and high the whole time, I don't think I really noticed.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, as an actor, if you find out Bruckheimer's on set, do you go, oh?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm at a point now where I go, I'm funny. And I know it sounds like so shitty to say, but also, like I said, it's those two things. Just have fun and tell the truth.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing those two things, everything else.
The truth is you're funny.
Yeah, well, I just mean tell the truth in the sense of when I'm doing a joke, don't think about don't think about being funny. If I'm telling the truth, I'm funny, I'm having fun, and I'm telling the truth. Those things usually blend in the same. Sometimes it fails, and I'm getting better. But stand-up now for me has become that. It's about the material. So I don't really worry. I am the same. Like if I do I hate auditioning for stand-up because you're being judged.
Yeah.
Most of the time you can go on stage and if a crowd's judging, you're like, I have time, I can win them.
Yeah.
Or that's fine. They're judging me because they just want to see if I'm funny. Within 30 seconds, they'll know.
But also, they're paying money to go have a good time. So they're invested in a good time.
It's a little different, right?
Yeah.
When there's somebody there being like, let's see if he's worth it.
That's a hostile work environment.
I guess so. Yeah, do down with the system. No, but so that will fuck with me a little bit. But at the same time, I go, at the end of the day, like if I don't do well right now, let's say I don't, I'm in there, like last time I was in town, I auditioned to get past the Hollywood Improv, and I did. Yeah. And then I auditioned for Netflix as a joke. And I saw all these other comics nervous, and I remember just telling them, I go, your career's not going to end today.
No.
Yeah, if you don't do good, they're going to go, pack it up, buddy. You're never allowed on stage anywhere ever.
We called everybody. You're banned.
Yeah. And so that helps to go, this won't end my career, so that kind of takes away a little bit of the pressure. Yeah. And then it kind of becomes just about the material. If you just focus on the material. Yeah. It's like same thing with like acting, right? No matter how nervous you are, focus on what I'm doing. Yeah. I just focus on the work. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it starts to feel more, it's just fun. I get to have fun. It's different. Yeah. Right? Acting, it feels like, you're like, today I got to fucking cry. And then like, what if I can't cry? All that kind of shit. That's like, I just have to be funny. Yeah. And I have to be funny in my way, which now I know. Like years ago, I would not have been prepared for this. But now I've done so much, and I'm like, I'm prepared. Yeah. This is what I'm not doing anything else for the rest of my life.
Do you ever have moments, because like I've thought about stand-up comedy, not in terms of like me doing it. I don't think I have that kind of sense of humor, but why are you agreeing with it?
What?
Huh?
That's a crick.
Okay, good. But I've thought about it where it's like, that thing where if you say the word tomato enough times, it loses its meaning. Like have you ever had that? It's like a fun psychological game.
No.
Do it later today. Don't do it now. Our time is valuable. But just sit in your car and just say the word tomato.
So my time's not valuable.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad you're understanding the subtext here. But if you just sit there and say the word tomato or the word whatever, over and over and over and over and over and over for minutes, the word will actually lose its value in your head. It just becomes noise. It's like you dissociate the meaning of the word from the sound of the word. It's a really fun kind of like, it's a way to like trip your brain out a little bit.
Wow. And so what, I guess where
Where am I going with this?
Yeah.
Well, just let me finish.
Right. It goes like crick again.
But like, so the idea, yeah, throw back to the crick joke. I like it. The idea of being funny. Like, if you're that focused on being funny, have you ever felt like you lost your grip on what was actually funny? Or did I just give you a new fear?
Yeah, dude. Tomato.
Yeah.
No, because again, I think I won't ever get there because this is actually good because now it's making me think about it. I've never really thought about it like that. I think now I go, no, because it's about the material, right? If it's always different. I know comics have been doing stand-up 20 years and they're funny, but it's the same material.
Right.
Right. Say
like
20
who?
10 years.
Give us the name, you coward.
Jackson McQueen.
Yeah.
I don't mind giving that name. No, I love Jackson. Does it change the material? Does it change the idea of what funny is?
By the way, how's Hunter doing?
I haven't talked to Hunter in years.
You brought his name up and I was like, fuck.
That's the only person that right off the top of my head I can think about from the set.
Yeah, okay, anyway, sorry, you're saying the funny thing.
So wow, that's a really good question, man. I just...
That's what I do.
I know.
Context. We need context.
For what? Hunter? Hunter, yeah. He was my assistant on the movie. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was what I was to Babak to the Army.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I think no, because it's always changing.
Okay.
So sometimes you can fail at a joke and I think because it's about the material for me and I'm always worried, how do I convey this correctly in my way?
Yeah.
That keeps it fresh, but also I've been doing it long enough. Who knows?
Yeah.
I know comics that everybody goes through peaks and valleys. Right now, I am at a peak in terms of how funny I feel, how much I'm conveying and stuff. And because there's not a lot of pressure on me, right? My only pressure now is to grow, which is easy. But then once you grow, you're like, what's the new pressure?
Sure. And
how do you avoid and like deal with that pressure? So I think I know from good advice I've gotten from people is just continue to make it about the material. Is this funny to me and why is it funny?
Is it funny to me? I think that's a really important caveat.
And then why is it funny? I always thought it was why is it funny? And then is it funny to me? Is it funny to me? Okay, why? So then that's how you explain it. That's how you make it a group think exercise on stage and all that kind of shit.
You know, one of my favorite comedians is Emo Phillips.
Yeah, which is so, I'm not kidding you, gun to my head, you could have gave me 100 guesses, I would have never guessed that.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. But like Emo Phillips to me is exactly that. Like the jokes Emo Phillips makes, if anyone else made those jokes, it wouldn't be funny. But it's funny to him. So then you're like, this fucking weirdo is hilarious. Oh,
you can tell he's having fun.
Yeah.
Like even in his weird way, it's almost, the thing about him is it looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but the fact that he's still up there, you kind of start rooting for him.
100%. You're like, if anyone had boozed this guy, he's going to kill himself.
Or we're going to kill that person.
Yeah.
Why would you do this, man? Yeah.
Emo Phillips has this great bit about the different...
He's still doing stand-up.
Shut up.
Dude, oh yeah.
Hasn't even...
With a high voice.
Yeah, he's kind of talks. Like
he's like, what's the tip?
Are you a Southern Baptist?
Yeah.
He's got a whole bit about the denominations of Southern Baptists.
Really?
And like, on the paper, like if anyone read that, they would be like, that is the dumbest joke of all time. But the way he delivers it gets me every single time. Yeah.
I'll go look this bit up. But yeah, no, dude, I was in New Orleans last year and he sold out 200 tickets in New Orleans, which is not an easy market. And for Emo Phillips, he's been doing it forever. If you sell 200 tickets in every city you go to, you're making good money.
What would you make if you sold 200 tickets?
It depends on your deal, but he's probably at a decent guaranteed rate. So 200, he's probably making $5,000
a night.
Yeah, if it's 200 seats, right? Probably. Wow. It depends what his deal is. That's like the top tier for like huge comics. They go do a 200 seat room, they get 100% of the door. So they're probably making like whatever they sold.
So they get 100% of the door, and then the venue just gets the bar.
So venue will get ticket fees and bar. Yeah,
ticket fees meaning like you buy this ticket and there's a $3 fee on top of it.
$25. Yeah, it's $28.50.
Okay.
And then Ticketmaster, of course, comes in and starts fucking jerking you off.
Yeah.
So it's a $31 ticket, but the venue will get $3 per ticket. So and then 100. I say 100. Most of the time it's 90. Even the biggest get 95.
Okay.
But some venues will be like, just play our huge comics can go play any club and take 100% of the door. But the venue's like it's 2 items a minimum. We're going to do 6 shows.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And also the publicity of this person being here. We're going to be fine.
And the prestige of being the Laugh Factory or the this or
That's
you know.
another thing. Yeah, well, so no, they would. It doesn't matter who you are. You're not getting 100% of any of these doors.
Yeah,
because they ultimately they go like that's the hard part about getting into stand up is you go to New York to try to get into stand up. You come to LA to try to get into stand up. No matter how funny you are, they go, but yeah, we don't need you.
Yeah,
That's the other thing that kind of keeps you humble too. Is you're like, there's 100 funny people here.
We just had an airplane come in from Cincinnati with 4 comedians. We got a plane from Atlanta coming in with 8 comedians.
That one crashed.
Yeah. A lot of crashes lately.
No, but yeah, so it's like one of those things you go, the only thing that keeps you here is what you talked about earlier is, you're still here.
So, okay, so let's say we're gonna bell curve this thing, and we're gonna cut off the comedians who don't support themselves, and we're gonna cut off the comedians who get 100% of the door.
Okay.
What does your average journeyman comedian make?
Per night, guaranteed. He's going to guarantee he's going to walk with. I'm still new to this. I know what my guarantees are right now.
Okay.
I don't want to disclose because they're not great, but they're not terrible.
Yeah.
And that's just because of like a little bit of the clout I have behind like just everything. And let's say $2,000. If you're a journeyman, you've been doing it 15 years. But here's the thing: is $2,000 is not the scoff at if you're doing that 8 times a month. Plus you're selling merch.
Yeah.
And then they're covering hotels. So you don't have to get yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a hotel is always part of it.
Okay.
And then they'll pick you up from the airport. They'll drop you off at the hotel, pick you up. So your expenses are pretty low. The flight is up to you.
Yeah.
But if you've been traveling as much as so many comedians, you have so many miles and so many points.
Yeah.
The flights are so cheap.
Yeah.
And you're connecting and you kind of know the rhythm of it. You know when to book, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And you can, if you have a schedule, you can book it 6 months in advance with the tickets the cheapest.
Sure.
So yeah, it becomes a thing where let's say you sell merch also, you can make $3,000 doing a 1 show.
Wow.
Yeah, but like then you start doing theaters.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different thing because you do have to rent the theater. But then you make $50,000 a night if you sell out a theater. After all your expenses and everything, 50 grand, you sell merch, you make 60 grand for doing 1 show.
Is there any sort of concept of oversaturation in comedy, or is it the more you can work, the better?
Oversaturation in a pretty funny. We have to start everything over.
Yeah, I run it again. We left tape on the wall.
I was going to say it, but I was like, fuck it. I don't want
track.
It's flowing.
Oversaturation.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in a market, sure. Like you can't go back to that same market. And if you do, you better have a new material.
New material.
Yeah. You better. Chappelle had a really good thing about this. He says, at some point you get so big that it's like things are kind of like, you can make money. Right?
Yeah.
But you have to remember the only reason they're giving it to you because you give them something.
Right. So, exchange of goods. Yeah.
And he goes, that's the thing is, remember, you are at a point now where you'll start making money and people will gladly give you money. But it's because they want to know that you give a shit.
Yeah.
And they want to know that like, oh, he was just here 4 months ago, but I fucking love Chappelle.
Yeah.
Let's go see him again. And then you go, it's like this, I've seen this, or you're rambling. I'm not just going to get away from Chappelle. I'm just being any comic, right?
Sure.
He's there 4 months, but I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
Or girl. And you go, I'm going to see this. I love them. Let's go see him. But then you get there and they're just drunk. Tiffany Haddish, like people love. She's out of this now, but there's like 2 years where she was doing this a lot. She would go back to a city every 5 months, and it'd be new material, or she'd be hammered, and her ticket sales started dropping. People stopped fucking with her, but then she kind of came out, and she started being more professional in that way, right?
Yeah.
And now she's back on top, and she's doing everything great. But
it
happens to a lot of people, and that's that thing you talk about. Maybe you said it when it gets in your head: is do I even know what I'm doing anymore? Am I just doing this because it's the only thing? So yeah, the oversaturation is you can go back to a place every fucking weekend, but if you're always on your game and you're always funny, it's something new. People watch it. Yeah. That's why people watch TV shows.
Can you walk me through like an average day of what it looks like on tour?
Yeah. So you get up. It depends. Like I'll give you. We have a show that night.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have to be in another place the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we've been in that town. You get up. I love to go walk around. Doesn't matter if I've been to the city before. It just gives me like a good. I like because then I'll write a joke. I'll write a joke about the city. Just
do you carry like a notepad with you?
Yeah, or sometimes my phone. Writing is fun, but if I'm trying to really hurry, I can really, and I'll look at it later and be like, I don't know what the fuck that word is.
Right.
But typing, you have to like.
Yeah.
So I do that because I'm not a huge comic, right?
Yeah.
So I needed to get them on my side.
Okay.
So instantly I'll make a joke about their town, even if it's a little hack, just something to get in kind of the rhythm. So I'll make sure to do that. Be like, man, I went down the street. What a fucking, I saw, a homeless guy with the biggest dick I've ever seen. Whatever. Like, I think I did that joke. Yeah. That's a joke I wrote because I'm like, they don't know who I am. If you say something about LA, the fires, all that kind of shit. Just something to get them going. All right. Even if they don't like it, they're still like, he's funny. He's making a joke. I get what he's doing. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I'll listen. I'm not just up there going, so I've been touring. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah. So I do that. And then I like to get to the venue early if it's close, just because it's fun. If I have friends in town, I'll do that. It really is. It's like a normal day in a life because it kind of becomes your life, right? Every city is your home for that day.
Sure.
So I might just chill. I might go see a movie. I'll go to the gym. I go just do something in that town, even if it's like, if we're a cool town, I'm gonna go see the cool thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you realize. The more you travel, the more you realize most towns are just like the other town.
Yeah.
Like there's certain places, obviously, that are way different. But you go to Cleveland, you're like, oh, cool, okay, yeah. You go to Chicago. Chicago is one of the...
Chicago's awesome.
Yeah, but it's also one of those cities where it's got things... I love it, I do, but it's just like, okay, it's a big city.
Yeah.
Denver is one of those towns where you hear so much about Denver. You go, you're like, this is just a...
Yeah.
Sorry, Denver.
Yeah.
You're just a city.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, that'll be the first clip that we put out.
Hi, just a city.
Yeah.
Mile high.
Yeah.
They're high.
Okay, so then you do your show.
Then you get to the venue, and I'm... especially when I'm opening for someone, I know I'm only doing 15 minutes. I know I got to do the hits,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm trying to get them on my side. I'm trying to do a good show. I don't really prepare that much because I kind of know what I'm doing. I might go over what I'm going to talk about first, and I'll listen to how they are during pre-show and that kind of thing, and maybe depend on the city and where we are.
If you guys are going to go, let's say this last world tour that you guys did, you're in Denver. Yeah. You're opening for Matt.
Yep.
Do you have your set time? Are there opening acts that are from Denver that come out before you guys?
He's got his guys. It's me. Jackson was with us a lot. Adam Ray's come out with us before. Martin Amini's another big, great comic.
Okay.
Paul.
So they don't pull like a local talent to come up with you guys?
No, because we tour together, right?
Yeah.
So, and Matt, it's also, you take a risk. Like when we're at clubs, sometimes we'd have a local opener, a host. Yeah. But then we just started two-manning because then I could get more time. Yeah. It was just easier. I could go up, do my 30, introduce Matt, show's done, right?
Sure.
It goes up. It's less moving parts.
Yeah.
When I go on the road, I can't pay anybody. I'm not making enough money to pay people to come with me and hey, look, I'll pay it extra. So it's usually a local host. But I do the same thing. I two-man it. I just like, let's do the show. Let's do you go up, nail it for 20. I'll come up and do my 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we would, but that's like, no, we haven't really done that. We might have guest spots every once in a while, right? But no, we just get to the venue, we kind of do the show, knock it out, and then we just hang.
Okay.
We just kind of hang in the green room, go back to the hotel, hang.
How long will you stay in the green room?
It depends. If we have somewhere to be, we'll do it. If not, it's just chilling, right? Because you can't leave, especially with me, I can leave whenever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
After the show, not really. After the show, people are like, oh, they want to take pictures. Which is always nice because you're like, all right, cool. This shows me.
You'll get over it.
Well, no, but it's working.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like right now, it's big. Like I go out there no matter what. Matt's left. Like Matt's left the venue, go back to the hotel. I've been there for an hour, just out there. I'm Alex. Hello, come on. I'll be here. Yeah. So, yeah, man. It's weird. I guess you're hitting me with some good questions. The days. It's not exciting. People really thought it was like people here, they watch these movies, they're like, tour's fucking nuts, I bet. Yeah.
It's like they've apparently never seen a tour bus with bunk beds in it.
Yeah, dude. And like people think like you're on the bus just there's whores and cocaine. I'm like, you think we're doing that on the bus?
Yes.
Yeah, like, because they're coming to the next city?
Yeah. That's kidnapping.
I like Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, we crossed a state line with a sex worker by accident.
No, that was one of the rules. We had rules on the bus. A lot of them were for me because I'm loud, dude. I'm loud. And so a lot of them were like, no talking, like shit like that. But one was no girls. And that was just because we just wanted to keep it an easy, calm. Yeah. Like, no, there's no weird situations going on. Also, they're bunk beds.
Yeah.
So
it's an amazing thing, and to that point, it's an amazing thing when you stop making the other sex a priority of any kind. The amount of focus and work that you can. Yeah. Have an international scandal, you'll get there. But it's
international is crazy to say it like that. Yeah,
dude, there was like fucking for a minute there. I mean, in March of 2021. Armie Hammer cannibal was like the 5th most searched thing on Google in the world.
Is there a doc? I don't want to give it, so cut this. You know they make docs about, Diddy had a doc 4 days after everything happened. Did you ever, was there a doc about you?
Yes.
No shit.
Yeah, it was, we can leave this in, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
It was called House of Hammer.
So fucking.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
So it's
Saying doc is playing real fast and loose there with journalistic integrity.
Yeah.
But yes.
They don't talk to anybody. They just kind of point out they just read news articles.
No, there was like 2 girls in there, and one of them I had a relationship with briefly, and then the other one I'd never even met before.
Yeah.
And she was on there talking about how I abused her. It was fucking wild, to be honest.
It's just,
and then my aunt was also in there talking about how, well, Armie was really like this growing up, and he's always been a monster and this and that. And I've never in my entire life spent one-on-one time with that aunt ever. So it was like, it was a confederacy of dunces.
oh wow,
You like
Orleans
that?
book.
Yeah. By the way, yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite books of all time.
It's a red.
I've got it right here.
Holy shit, dude! The story of this guy is crazy.
Insane.
Because I think it's in the foreword, right?
He killed himself
Well, his mom found the book under his bed.
after he killed himself, and then
weeks,
published
almost
it
years after, I think, right?
so long after.
Brought it to a Loyola professor. He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, my son wrote this," and he's like, "I'm not." He sat on his desk. He started reading the first 3 pages. Like, what the fuck?
What is this?
Yeah.
And then so this
I can't
guy,
believe they haven't made a movie about this yet.
I know it's so
Like
crazy.
even a documentary or just like some kind of biopsy about John Kennedy Toole.
Yeah.
Biopic.
This guy writes a book that is one of the most fun books to read in the world.
You get to the end and go, oh yeah, okay, I guess it's over.
Yeah.
It really is such a weird book where there's really no ever moment you're like, I'm reading a story. You're just like reading a life.
You're in it.
Yeah.
You're in it.
Yeah.
And then the guy kills himself, and his mom takes his manuscript
Not the
out,
book.
and he wins a Pulitzer Prize. Like, that's insane. Anyway,
That's so cool you have that book.
I love that book.
Yep. Audio, I listened to it on audio.
Oh, did someone with a New Orleans accent read it?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. At some point, it's like a little coon ass.
Yeah, okay.
So
okay.
that's an okay word to say, by the way.
You're from New Orleans.
Yeah.
The way I see it is
Coon ass
like,
is just bayou person.
yeah. Cousin Boudreaux.
Yeah. They're doing that. Everybody go to some thing. Yeah. Like,
What?
oh, dude. Like, you go down a river, you take that canoe, you go out there. We're going to the market today. Don't worry. It's like New Jersey always. It's like New Jersey with fucking like just like they
Gravel.
Just they just ate like spicy food. So it's like hard to talk about it.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Coon ass does not. It means bayou person.
Does it?
It means like like run around. It's coon ass.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got like coon. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you got to put the ass in there, bro. You got to put the ass in there.
Jackass, like donkey, because
Yeah.
you can't call someone an ass, you can't call them a jackass. It means bayou person.
I love it.
So that's why, like,
but this is my theory
I
on New
grew up
Orleans.
kind of a coon ass.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah.
Because like my thing about New Orleans is this, is like, it's such a multicultural melting pot that even if you're in the nicest part of New Orleans, you're 3 blocks from a not nice part of
Where
New
you
Orleans.
stayed is that the typical, where you lived was great because you go literally you go over canal on the other side of Washington.
Yeah.
It's the but it's also crazy because it's like a hood, but
I never felt unsafe.
It's
not once.
They don't. Nobody fucks with like. Obviously,
amazing.
There's any city you're gonna have people that fuck, but nobody like is just like fuck this guy.
Yeah.
They don't creed, color, race, dude. Does not matter.
It does not matter.
It's just like don't fuck with me. I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah, you're just from New Orleans.
We're cool. We're cool.
Yeah.
We're cool until we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
I really love New Orleans.
I miss it every day.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you have anybody affected by the thing that happened on New Year's?
No, no.
What happened on New Year's?
Oh, so there's a big terrorist attack. Guy drove his
car
had
through the
bombs.
thing.
Yeah, killed like 11 people.
Oy.
Yeah, one of the guys is a Besh, which is like kind of New Orleans royalty.
Is that his last name?
The last name is Besh. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if he spelled it with a T, but he was a football player. Which all like the guy played. His dad or grandpa played for the Saints. They all stayed, right? So Besh became like a big name in New Orleans. So one of those guys that we lost on that day was Besh.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody personally affected. No, my friends don't really hang out on bourbon,
Yeah.
especially during New Year's. Like,
That's tourist business, man.
well, I have
Like
friends.
going to Times Square when you're in New York.
Yeah, yeah. Like I have friends, but New York at least still feels a semblance of there's chaos, there's order to the chaos. Like Times Square is just like Disney World.
Yeah.
Bourbon is the Strip.
Yeah.
But Yeah, bourbon is the Las Vegas Strip with no
Rules.
guidance.
Yeah,
You know,
it's wild.
There's cops there, sure, but it's like that's just so if somebody starts shooting, they can stop that.
Yeah.
Anything. I saw a guy get stabbed on bourbon, and when the guy pulled the knife out, his intestines came out.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, I've seen frat boys so drunk they start drinking the water off the ground.
Oh.
I was like, this is not my.
That's not water.
I could have we could have not seen each other for 8 years. You could have hit me up and be like, hey, it's Armie. I'm in town. Come meet me on bourbon. I would be like, nope.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I would have been like, man, come meet me here.
Yeah,
Tell me when you're off.
Yeah.
The love of my life could be like, hey, I'm surprising. I'm in New Orleans. Come meet me on bourbon. I go, you know where I live.
Yeah.
No, I just don't go to, I'll go during the day.
Yeah.
Because it still feels like a normal, beautiful French Quarter street.
Sure.
But as soon as the sun goes down, it turns into truly one of the worst
like a
places I've
werewolf.
ever been. Yeah. And also, it's $15 for a beer.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll go a block over.
You mean you don't want a 4-foot blended Slurpee
No,
with
you do.
700 grams of sugar in
You
it?
do what it wants.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The hurricane.
Oh, no, the hand grenade too.
Yeah.
The hurricane. No.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
Too
fast.
soon. You can't joke about hurricanes.
No, that was a crazy time. The hand grenade is a weird one because it's not that big. You watch them make it, it's only like 2 shots, but I think it's because the sugar and the cold.
Yeah.
It really gets you fucking hammered.
Yeah.
It's weird.
New
Armie
Orleans
hammered.
Yeah, Armie Hammer time. New Orleans is a wild place because, we were playing pretty fast and loose when we made that movie.
You were.
Yeah. You mean everyone else wasn't too?
No. You know what's this is, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about how you ended up, like that, why it was so late? Can we do that or no?
Yeah.
We don't have to.
No, go for it.
No, the only reason I want to bring it up is because you say this, that you were partying high all the time. I never noticed. Like when we'd go out, we'd get drunk, right? But I was in a relationship at the time, right? We lived together. I was young gun I wasn't trying to do anything dumb. If I would have known, I would have been like, "What are you doing, baby?" Like, because I had because we remember we bartended for like 4 hours at Avenue Pub.
That's right. We just jumped behind the bar. And
Yeah, well, you did, and then you're like, "Come back here." I'm like, "All right," and it was the craziest.
It was the best.
I remember being like, "This is fun." No one in New Orleans. I got to bartend at one of the oldest bars in New Orleans.
Yeah.
With Armie, and we're all like hanging out. It was the coolest night.
Yeah.
And if I would have known there were drugs,
yeah, there was a lot of drugs.
which I would have known.
There was a lot of drugs, man. Yeah.
The night actually when I saw you in LA, and I was like, I might try. That was the last night I ever thought about doing them. I'm not kidding you. I drink beer now. I don't even drink liquor anymore. Since I saw you,
really,
I had to just. Beer might even start going out. It's becoming I'm trying to do so much, and it really fucking affects you.
It really does.
Affects everything.
100%.
And unfortunately, I'm in a business where every night I'm in a bar, so you just drink. You just have a drink. And you don't think I'm drinking. You're like, I'm just hanging.
Yeah, I'm sitting here at a bar.
I'm at a
doing
bar
the thing.
hanging with the funniest people. Why would I want to go home? Give me another beer. And we get to the point like that night when we hung out, when you left, I kept drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
I was also in a low place just with like a relationship and like personal shit.
Yeah.
So I was just like, fuck it, we're doing this. I'm in LA, I'm hanging. And the next day I woke up and I was like, you know what's funny is I didn't feel like I had a problem. I don't feel like I have a problem, which I feel like everybody says. But I went
denial.
No, but I got a few of these left in me.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a thing where like, I want to do that again, or you can't ever do that again.
Yeah.
I really went, okay, you got a few of those left in you.
I think that's a really healthy aspect because
it's
there's not a sort of sense of fatalism to it where you're like, I have to stop or my career, blah, blah, blah. Yep. But at the end of the day, like that shit really is poison. It actually is poison.
Unless it's like, there's nights where you're going to go, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. And you go, and that night we were all hanging out, you left and I was like, oh, I should leave too.
Yeah.
Because you made the 100% right decision.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you would have done anything. You wouldn't, but like, I saw where the road was going. I think you did too. You're like, I got to go.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't give you shit. I was like, dude, it's so fun seeing you, man. Can't wait to hang again.
Well, the thing is,
I remember looking at my buddy Jake, my manager, and I go, we should leave too. And he goes, no, we shouldn't. And he was right. Dude. Look, it was a good hang because it's the reason I'm back here now.
Yeah.
I gave me, like I said, all the opportunities I have that I'm back in LA for. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing, but it's like that's the other part of it. In this business, hanging is kind of important.
For sure. It's networking, it's community building, it's all that
stuff. Can he be fun?
But yeah, for sure. But the thing is like I found that now that I don't really do all that shit anymore, I mean, I'll have an occasional drink every now and then, or if I go to dinner and it's like a nice dinner, I'll have like a martini or two or a wine, a bottle of wine, whatever.
A wine glass, bottle of wine.
Yeah, like a super double big gulp of vodka, whatever it is, whatever your drink is. But the next day I feel it. Like, even if I only have 2 drinks, the next day, like, I just feel like my brain is not as sharp.
When I was a kid, it was my body, and that was easy to get up from.
Yeah.
I feel and now I'm 33,
Yeah.
and now I'm getting older. It's here.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I feel exhausted. I feel like shit. It's,
I can't think of that word that I'm looking for.
you have a life, man.
Yeah.
You got shit you got to do.
Yeah.
What do you, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Last night that's where actually you got a few more of these up to me because I go, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a real mature attitude, man. Like, I don't think
Thank you.
I don't think, yeah, you're welcome. Like,
No.
I don't think I would have ever gotten there without my hand being played.
I think I got to give you some credit for this. Like what you went through as a friend of yours, like a friend at the time, we were friendly, right?
Yeah.
I would consider you a friend now. Like,
Yeah.
I would. Back then I would consider you a guy that like, hey, how you like, it's seeing what you went through, seeing how like a bunch of my friends have gone through.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that you were like having those moments, right?
Yeah.
But I've just seen friends in this business that I've seen them change the way, because they just get into this cycle. And I go, oh, that's what a problem looks like.
Yeah.
I know I don't have that, but I
Yeah.
know it's a razor's fucking edge.
Totally.
And the way you handled everything is, I never saw you complain. I never saw you were so strong with that.
Yeah.
And that's like a real, I mean, outwardly, I know inside there's probably a fucking storm of awfulness.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I've had my moments recently, just personally, where everything feels like it's going well. And like, yeah, man, it can get weird. And so I think that's where, when I wake up from some of those nights, I go, you're going to fail. No one's going to, everybody else wants you to. You keep doing this, you'll help them.
Yeah.
And it just, that gets me emotional to think about, because I think about letting myself down and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of people aren't able to play that tape forward. They're right where they are, sitting in the bar after the show going, well, of course I want another drink.
Here's the thing is, I say this, and this is what's so weird. You don't give me any credit. Tonight, I have to catch a flight at 1 a.m.
Oof.
I might just go though, but fuck it, let's get fucked up.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I got to get to the airport anyway. I'm just taking an Uber.
Yeah.
So it's one of those
And then you
things-
sleep on the plane.
Yeah, and you go, is that one of the nights? It's a weird fucking struggle. Maybe I have a problem.
Well, I got another book for that, Fonzie. Let me find it.
I see a couple books. I thought that was the Steve Martin book. You got a couple books in there I've read, man.
Which ones?
Obviously the fucking Confederate Dunsons, the Kurt Vonnegut right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read a bunch of Kurt Vonnegut. He's one of my favorite satirists. He's the best.
Oh yeah, dude. He's got a few of them. He's almost like a poet too at some point.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
His social commentary through humor is unmatched.
He's got a book.
Slaughterhouse-Five, that was his first book that I read. Actually, Harrison Bergeron was a short story that I read.
So you're more in depth in it than I am.
I
Okay,
love
yeah.
Kurt Vonnegut. So I read a short story of his called Harrison Bergeron, and I was like, this is one of the best stories I've ever read. And then when I was 19, I got hired to play Harrison Bergeron in a short film. And I was like, this is fucking amazing.
No shit.
Yeah. And then
What's the story? I don't know the story. Do we have time to tell the story?
Like the quick version of the story is it takes place in a dystopic future where the handicapper general has now decided that the only way
like he's a handicapped general?
He's not actually handicapped.
Okay.
He is the handicapper general.
I guess I don't know what that means.
Well, I'll tell you.
I'm not letting him finish.
Yeah. So it's basically like, we have to make sure no one is stronger than the weakest person. No one is faster than the weakest person. No one is smarter than the weakest person.
Got it.
So if you are physically abled, you wear handicaps. You wear weights on your shoulders. You wear a thing on your ear that makes loud noises so you can't think straight. Like all of these things in this dystopic future. And then this guy, Harrison Bergeron, who is sort of like the epitome of able-bodiedness.
Yep.
He's big, he's strong, he's smarter than everybody, breaks out of prison and hacks into a feed, the national feed of the ballet. But the ballet is ridiculous because all the good ballerinas are wearing weights on stage because they can't dance better than the worst ballerina. So he breaks onto the stage and rigs bombs around the theater and like hijacks the feed so they can't shut it off.
Okay.
And basically makes a speech where he's like, you people don't realize what they're doing to you. They're trying to bring you all down, and I'm here to show you that that is not what your purpose is. And then he strips off his, I just got goosebumps talking about it. He strips off his own shit and then grabs one of the ballerinas and pulls off her shit. and then they dance together in a way
Wow.
where everyone is just like, this is the most beautiful thing we've ever seen.
As a younger person, I would have called this gay.
Pretty gay, bro.
But it's actually really,
gay.
really beautiful, actually. It's
It's incredible.
And you played Harrison?
I played Harrison
Can I
Bergeron.
find this online anywhere?
Yeah. It's called 2081. You can find
2000?
it's on YouTube.
Okay,
It's like 10 minutes.
I can't wait to. I can't. I'm gonna watch it when I get home.
Yeah, it's
Walk
fun.
back to the play. Yeah.
But I got that job by accident.
Okay.
So I got a letter one day that said, Armie,
Were you living here? You said 19?
I was living here. Yeah, I
Okay.
was living in LA. It said, Armie, we have been an admirer of your work. We think you're a phenomenal actor. We think you are perfect for this part. We would love it if you would come in and talk to us about this. And I was like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? I was like, I haven't done anything. Like, what work are they even fucking talking about? So I show up at the producer's house, this guy named Thor, who became one of my best friends, like still one of my closest friends.
Okay, great.
So I walk into Thor's apartment and he looks at me and he goes, who are you? And I go, oh, this is not a good start. I go, I'm Armie.
I got your letter.
And he goes, I got your letter. And he goes, ooh, and I go, oh, you sent me a letter about Harrison Bergeron and I'm here to audition for it. And he goes, I did? And I go, yeah. And he goes,
Oh, I can't wait.
and then he goes, oh, right. Come on in, do the audition. And then in the audition, at one point I needed to stomp.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want this job so badly.
Mhm.
I'm going to fucking stomp. Like, I'm going to show them how bad I want it. Like, if I break my heel in this audition, I know I did it right.
Yeah, good point.
So that scene comes in the audition and I stomp so hard, I stomped a hole in his floor. And he like looks down at the floor and he looks up at me and I finish the scene and I go, sorry about that. And he goes, no, you got the job. We're good.
Nice.
Later, the first day on set, I found out, he's like, Thor, my buddy, he goes, you want to hear a funny story? And I go, yeah. He goes, I sent that letter to the wrong person. And I
How
go,
did I get your name? Like, there's another Armie Hammer in the
no,
industry
there's
at the time?
not. So
Yeah.
he watched a movie that I played a part in where like the part I played in this movie was male prefect. Like I was like a TA in a school.
Yeah.
And I had one line in this movie. It was called Flicka. But anyway, he looks up my friend Flicka, which was that's the name of the book. The movie was just called Flicka.
Yeah.
And he sees Ryan Quanten, the blonde Australian actor who was also in True Blood and like
Okay,
all that
yes.
shit. He saw him in the movie and was like, get me that guy. And someone pulled up the IMDb for the movie
Thought it was.
and said, yeah, that's probably him. And then sent me the letter. And he was expecting Ryan Quanten to walk into his room. And then I walk in and ended up getting the job.
Was Ryan Quanten still working?
Probably. I don't know. I outlasted him.
Yeah.
Outlasted.
If he was Harrison Bergeron, he'd still be out there.
I mean, maybe he'd be canceled.
Is it Bergeron?
Harrison Bergeron, yeah.
That's such a French name, too. It's so funny.
Yeah. And then I read Harrison Bergeron, and then I read Slaughterhouse-Five,
Yeah.
which is kind of about the firebombing at Dresden, but in this very weird, like there's aliens involved and like aliens, but it's really a soldier just dissociating so hard from war that he just goes to.
I never read it. I need to. I've read a bunch of synopsis. I've listened to like the. Did they make a movie about it or no?
Slaughterhouse-Five? I think they did.
Well, it was it inspired that Tim Robbins movie where that horror movie where he's in Vietnam and he's dying the whole time. That
Yes,
Adrian
that's what I'm
movie.
thinking of.
Right.
I haven't seen it yet.
But they did make Breakfast of Champions with Bruce Willis. Funny enough. Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Other little known fact: Vonnegut did write poetry. He just didn't publish it.
Yeah,
published
he
one, I think.
he
Yeah.
published a bunch of short films. He has a book about short films. He has a book about short stories. He has a book of short stories.
Yeah.
Called Welcome to the Monkey House, which is really good.
Okay, so Harrison Bergeron is the name of the book.
No, it's the name of the short story.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But
Is it in that short story?
It's in Welcome to the Monkey House.
Okay, well,
you can also read it online.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. Yeah, I always I like listening.
Yeah.
I'm more auditory.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
really
fair.
take it in if I
Do
listen.
you have dyslexia?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I do have a friend that thinks ABBA is ABBA.
Huh?
You know that old? I have a dyslexic friend that thinks ABBA is ABBA. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, too slow.
Yeah. Fair. That's actually very good. I like that.
Part of the act.
I'm gonna give that. By the way, I'm telling that joke to my son.
No, that's
he's not gonna get it. But later, because he's dyslexic.
One
Later,
thing I'll see ABBA. Oh, he is dyslexic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
yeah.
He might get
You
it.
think it's funny that my kid has a learning difference?
No, I think it's funny you're going to tell him.
Fair.
A learning difference?
That's what we say now, bro.
Oh my God.
What am I going to be like? You think it's funny that my son's retarded? Like, what am I going to say?
If anything, he's smarter. He can scramble words.
So
That's
smart, dude.
crazy. Like
My son, when he was 4 years old, I remember we were outside looking up at the moon because like the moon is something very important to me. And like I was like, look at the moon and blah, blah, blah. And he looks at me in the moon and he goes, what is the moon? And I go, well, it's our closest celestial body. It controls tide. It controls mood. It controls all these things on Earth. It also protects us from asteroids. That's why it looks the way that it does. So asteroids hit that, not us.
So
and
crazy.
I'm going on and on about the moon. And he's just like looking up at it. And I finish my spiel and he doesn't say anything. And he goes, why do you think it's there? And I was like, well, and then he stops me and he goes, and he's 4, and he goes, do you think that there's something about the Earth that keeps the moon where it is?
Yep.
And I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, dude, you're talking about gravity at 4 years old. Like my son's a genius. He just can't.
How old is he
read.
now?
8.
He just can't read.
He just can't read. Yeah.
Hey, he was young. 'Cause I think they came to set once.
They came.
Right?
Yeah. Well, they were in New Orleans with us.
Yeah, I do
For
remember-
most of it. They
yeah.
came and went.
Yeah, that old gymnasium you stayed in.
Yeah,
Do you
that
know that's what
house.
that was?
It was?
It was an old gymnasium.
It was huge.
An old basketball court. They obviously
No.
yeah, there was a basketball court in there. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It wasn't that big.
No, it's the size of a bat. If you think about it, the houses size, and that's when it was just benches on the side. Nobody was. Yeah, it was an old it was an old
The
gymnasium.
old pink house.
Yeah, but it was an old gymnasium.
Yeah.
And I never saw the inside of it. You never invited me.
Yeah, you came over one. We had like a night, didn't we?
No, that was you and Hunter.
Oh, right.
Hunter,
right.
I think Hunter would always be like, I was hanging out. If he would have said once, bro, we had a night, I'd be like, well, come on, I'll come on.
Yeah.
Come hang.
I'm in. Yeah.
But he was being a very good, he was protected, right?
Yeah.
Hunter, he's a
Hunter, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, he's good people, dude. He is. He's good people.
I
still haven't talked to him in years. He'll message me about roles and parts and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's this thing where I'm like, I can't really take anything right now because I'm still trying to, I can't turn down.
You're focused.
I can't turn down anything in stand up.
Yeah.
So it's like he'll send me stuff. I'm like, and I just never do it. So I'm sorry, Hunter. Believe me, I love that you're sending me stuff and I will be able to accept things one day, but I can't right now.
He's too busy, Hunter. Talk to his agent.
No, that's not what it is.
Talk to his
I can't
people.
turn down stand up.
Have your people talk to him.
All right.
I have a question about telling jokes.
Yep.
Why is it anyone, and it seems like even comedians do this, it feels like as soon as people start to tell a joke, there's a cadence that people drop into where it's like, yeah, so I was at the doctor's appointment the other day and pause. And the doctor says to me, he says, well, and it's like this, like that, it's like, there's like an adopted cadence. And I do it too. Like when
archetype.
Is that what it is? Like an archetypical, like, well, this is how we tell jokes? Or is it, I'm giving you information that the cumulative response to all of this information is going to make you laugh, but I have to give you this information slowly so you get it all.
I'm gonna put my ego out there a little bit. When you watched me, did I feel that I have a cadence like that?
Not really.
So I hate it.
Yeah.
My favorite comedians there's no cadence. It's conversational.
Yeah.
That's part of like,
Agreed.
It's part of my thing that when I first started, I was bad. Because I didn't know how to do that. I stuck with that idea. They'll do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it this way. This is how I'm doing it. This is how I'm doing it. I didn't fall into the easy. And there's so many comics that are great that have a cadence. And they're masters of it. And
Seinfeld. Pure cadence.
Yeah, pure cadence.
What's the deal with the...
bop, 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 bop. It's jazz.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of my jokes are jazz. So when I'm talking, I'm learning how to speed up. And this is all very inside baseball, right?
I love it though.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
But... the reason I ask because I'm one thing about my stand-up I'm happy about is it seems, and most of the time, I don't open or close the same way ever.
Yeah.
I might if I'm doing a run of shows and I'm
Yeah.
opening and I just need to be good.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing my show and I'm doing spots, places, it's always going to be different because I feel it out. And we're talking and hanging.
When I noticed that your jokes didn't have that typical joke cadence was when you started doing crowd work.
Yeah.
Because you're really good at crowd work.
Yeah.
But
I just because I
hold
started
on.
off so bad.
No.
Yeah,
you're really good at crowd work, but the thing that I noticed is when you transitioned from jokes to crowd work, your cadence didn't change.
Thank you. I hate to thank you, because that's something I.
But if that's something that you worked on, then
so
by the way, you deserve to say thank you. You deserve to be like,
well, I think you did because if the fact that you're noticing because you're an artist too, a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It makes me happy because it's like, okay, you're noticing the work, you're noticing like effort, but it's just, that's something I worked hard on. Because that's also why I think I say yes, because I was so bad for so long because I would break this thing to go into crowd work, right?
Yeah.
And I realized people thought it felt disingenuous to people.
Yeah.
Not the crowd work, my act.
Yeah.
I go, oh, and I would kill with crowd work because I just had to be me. I had to be funny. I had to make this funny and tell the truth, right? So it became a thing where I go, well, why don't you just do this? Don't use it as a crutch. Don't use it as a crutch to let the whole thing be funny. Let the whole thing be who you are. And if it bombs, I don't get off. I've noticed comics that are so funny, but they have a cadence. They have like, this is my 10 minutes. It's memorized the script, and it doesn't go well. And they get off stage and they want to kill themselves. Yeah, because that feels like an ego death. I had this thing planned that I thought you were going to love, and it didn't work. Yeah, I go up there and I go, I'm going to tell you the truth, and we're going to have fun. And if they're not, I don't really bomb anymore because I'm having fun. So if I'm having fun, even if something's not working, I'll still, I'm like, how do I, we're all having fun. That's the point of this. It's all to have fun. I can make a point too, but at the end of the day, it has to be fun. We have to have fun with it. So that's something I worked a lot on. So I'm actually very appreciative someone like you noticed.
What does that work look like? Are you going back and watching comics? Are you making notes? Are you analyzing this joke versus that joke, this comic versus that comic? Like what does that work look like?
It's all on stage. It's what you saw that night, right?
So it's trial and error.
It's like for years. Yeah. When I started New Orleans, I thought I was the unfunniest person in the world. I was always funny in my day-to-day life. Like you wrote on the head page of the script, you said, I won't tell anybody else this, but you're the funniest person on set. Yeah. And I was like, hell yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is, then I started doing stand-up, and I became unfunny in my regular life because I was always trying to be funny. And so then it became this thing on stage where I was like, it's like, I realized pretty early on, I was like, all right, I'm not naturally good at this. I thought I would be because I was naturally funny in my life.
Well, I don't feel like it's a natural thing.
No, you see people that you love and they're always funny, right? And
but was there
see the work?
You don't see the work. Like you're looking at a bodybuilder and you don't see the million hours in the gym.
He's been doing this for 10 years.
And you go, that guy is so naturally gifted. Look at his genetics. Look at this and that. And it's like, you ask that guy, he's like, I was a fat kid. You know, so it's like.
David Goggins.
Yeah. We talked about David Goggins on here. That dude's a lunatic.
He's a lunatic. It's like,
It's like, why do you hate yourself so much?
Or who do you hate? Why do you hate yourself back in the day? Yeah. That guy's gone now.
Yeah.
Take a second.
Yeah, you're okay, dude.
People are like, he's been divorced 3 times. I'm like, I fucking bet.
Yeah, dude.
And I bet it's no fault of his own.
I'm on the women's side. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
No, but it's one of those things you go, I bet it's no fault of his own that when they meet him, they know who they're meeting. Yeah. And then he's just like, this is who I am. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, of course he's been divorced 3 times. I bet it's probably hard to love that guy. Yeah. It's probably hard for him to maintain it because he's got so much focus on himself, which it's how he maintains his if he's happy, he's healthy.
I get that too.
Yeah. Why would I not?
Whatever works for you.
And so, yeah, but it's like, I was in New Orleans. I thought I was so unfunny. And then I started just going out. I would like, let me just go to Alabama. Let me go to Texas. Let me go to Arkansas. That was the states that were around me. Yeah. And I started kind of doing well because my jokes translated better to a city that wasn't so wrapped up in this idea of what it should be. It was just people living, right? Yeah. New Orleans comedy is kind of tough. And that's why I would live there if they had a dedicated club and the crowds were a little better. But they're just, it's a tough city to be funny in because people have an idea of what they're supposed to be.
But that's probably a good place to hone your chops.
It's the only reason. So it's the only reason. If I would have kept doing stand-up in New Orleans, I would have become that very rigid, just joke, because I would have been like, this is what they want. They don't want to hear anything. They want they just want to laugh. So me leaving and then going out on tour with Matt too, when I first started doing that, that's when I got better. I was in front of different people every night. And I got a chance to really.
Well, it's the Malcolm Gladwell thing, right? Like it's the 10,000 hours.
Yes, yeah.
Where it's like you got to have those hours on stage.
That's the only thing.
That's a good snap, by the way.
Yeah. This one's awful. See, you're pretty.
Yeah, but that one's got a pop.
This one's a rope. Yeah. This one's a dribble.
Yeah, fair. It works. Yeah. I was gonna say.
So yeah, it's. I can't take appreciative of it because there's a few people I'll listen to when it comes like, hey, you know what I noticed? And you're one of those people. Your goes that same night. He was like, it's 100%. Alex walked on stage and Alex walked off.
Yeah.
That makes me very happy because that's something I worked so hard on.
And then to add another layer
And
to that,
crazy
it's like
how weird it takes, how long it takes.
Yeah, but when Alex walked on stage, he was just as comfortable on stage moment one as he was walking off stage. There was no, okay, let me find my sea legs. Oh, this isn't working. Okay, now I don't feel good.
Yeah.
It was, you came out like this and natural, performed, and then walked off stage and everyone was like, fuck, that guy was good.
3.5 years ago, that was not the case, but it's just,
I'm sure.
It's one of those things I told you, it's just.
It would be the same thing if you were doing pottery.
Well, you talked about it, I think you talked about it with Frank on the other podcast where you go, am I going to be, there's years where I went, am I good at this? And what am I doing here? If I fail, how bad is this going to be? And then it started going, as soon as I got on stage, that went away. And now now that I know it's going to go away when I go on stage, they don't even come up anymore.
Amazing.
Yeah, just because I go, you know
Yeah.
this. This is, it's your realm now.
Yeah.
Like you talked about being a parent earlier, how he's like, it's hard, but it's being a parent hard, or is being a parent just the work?
It's just the way it goes.
I have no other choice. I'm a fucking parent.
Yeah.
There's no other choice but to be a parent.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Like he's not heavy. He's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that for me. It's not like I'm not worried about it anymore because I know this.
Yeah.
And I know this, and they're gonna find out.
Yeah.
It's like people go, "Do you get tired of telling the same jokes?" No, I get so excited to I can't wait till they hear this.
So I guess because what I'm hearing you say is that you just know that you're gonna go on stage and you're gonna be Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So what did that process look like of learning who Alex was?
Failure. How I do how you're gonna fail more than you're gonna win. Like, I mean, I'd say.
But if you fail at something, does that automatically become not a part of Alex anymore?
What do you? No. I'm talking about like failing at trying to be me. At some point, you fail.
Okay, I'm talking about even before all that, like trying to be you.
Yeah.
Trying to just authentically be Alex.
Mm-hmm.
How did you learn who Alex was?
Through failure.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. And if I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for stand-up, also other friends and people have helped me along. But stand-up kind of really put me in a place where I started getting more comfortable on stage than I was off. And I didn't like that feeling either.
Interesting.
I didn't like being like, So I said, it's like, people say review the tape. I started going, who are people I admire and look up to, and why are they happy, and why do I admire them? And I found traits in them that I took onto myself.
Who are some of those people?
Other comics.
Okay.
Like we talked about, like what you went through. I have friends that go, and this is not me just saying this because we're on the pod. Like legitimately, that's why I reached out to you. I texted you like 4 times over the course of like a year and a half, and I was like, I'm just checking on you, man. How you doing, dude? I'm
really happy that you didn't go to, you know what? Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I don't know if you know I don't know if you've been reading the papers.
Yeah.
Because I was worried about you, man. Like,
Yeah.
because you were such a good person, and I had seen another friend get canceled. Matt had a good thing like recently where he went through, a kind of thing. But I saw people I loved and admired this witch hunt almost.
Yeah.
And like I get it. There was bad things that were happening, but it started to get everybody, and it really made me worried. And I started going, if that's what's going to end up to you if you make it, what are you so worried about? Like, what are you so worried about? It's either failure or success. So that just go do it. I don't know. I can't even, I guess I just never try to contextualize it. I can't really, I keep going back to quotes that I heard that made me go, that's right, just do this. I'm very like I said, Jim Carrey has that quote. He goes, you can fail at something you don't love. So why not just go after the thing you love, right?
That's a great one.
Yeah, he goes, you can fail. He goes, I watched my dad get fired from a job he didn't really like, but he had it because he needed the job.
Yeah.
And he was miserable.
Yeah.
And I were thinking, so you can be miserable no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't choose your misery?
It's almost like a natural resting state for humans to be like, I'm going to find something to be miserable about. But you have to really kind of...
Love. It's what love is, dude.
Yeah. It's like you really got to program yourself to get out of that. I heard a great quote this morning, and I've heard it a bunch of times. And it's one of those quotes where I've heard it a bunch of times, but every time I hear it, I'm like, that's the most genius thing I've ever heard. I've never heard that before. And then I can hear it a week later and go, that's the most genius thing I've ever heard. I've never heard that before. But the quote was, resistance to the disturbance is the disturbance. So it's like, whatever's going on in your life, you fighting that thing is actually what's making your life worse, as opposed to understanding that your level of serenity is directly proportional to your level of acceptance.
I needed to hear that today.
There you go.
Resistance to the disturbance is the disturbance.
Is the disturbance.
Yeah, just go.
Something's going on. Something's going wrong in your life, and you go, fuck. Well, we'll figure it out. That just became quieter, and like you'll figure it out.
You know what's I think.
But something goes wrong in your life, and you go, fuck. Then all of a sudden, that's actually the disturbance of your life. Your response to it.
Professionally, I've never been that. I've always been very much lean into the hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Personally, I'm so bad at it. Personally, I take things way too personally.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I've working on that as I get older, obviously. So that's a very good quote to remember.
Yeah.
My therapist used to say, you take things personally till you don't. One day you just stop.
Yeah, the four agreements. You ever read that book?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I listen to that one almost probably every 2 months.
Oh, that's great.
It's almost like my therapy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, resistance to disturbance is the disturbance. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And then another good one is acceptance is the answer to all of my problems. If you can just accept whatever's going on, it's almost like problems come into our life at a specific time, at a specific place to teach us a specific thing.
Yeah.
And until you learn that thing from your problem, it's gonna stay. Because then it goes to the other one of that which you resist persists.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, you go, fuck, I got this problem. All right, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do? Okay, I accept that now. And then all of a sudden, it's just like that problem just melts away. What do you think about that?
We're going on a quote off now.
Yeah.
What is suffering if not gifts from God? Which I'm not a religious person.
Yeah, but I love that one.
But it's because life is suffering, right?
That Stephen Colbert talked about that.
Stephen Colbert talked about this, yeah. And he made Anderson Cooper cry, which Andrew Cooper's seen a lot. So if you can make him cry.
It's an incredible interview.
And it's just, he goes, life is suffering, right? So if you're going to have the good, you got to understand the bad. And so it's just weird, man. Like I'm going through, like, professionally, I'm happy with everything. And then you have things that you go, it makes you feel like you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And you have to be like, why?
You have things in your personal life that make you feel like what?
Just relationship shit. Like, we don't have to get into that, but like,
we're getting into it.
All right. It's just,
are you going through a breakup?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
When you say I don't know, does that mean you don't have a say in what's happening?
Ooh, wow. No, it's that, I don't know how it ended up where it's ended up.
Okay. Like,
because you feel like you do everything you can. You feel like and that, like, professionally, it's so weird how professionally I've never felt like that because I go, I don't know why. I've never taken professional personally, which it feels like I've always had a healthy relationship with work, right?
That sounds like a good emotional boundary.
Yeah, but personally in my life,
yeah,
it's like I'm doing everything else right. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
and so it's like it's this thing that I get caught in this spiral of like, how much do I have to do to show you that this is like like I say show you, but like even in like family and friends life, I always end up in this place where I'm a good punching bag for people, because I think I'm just good at absorbing and listening, and I'm good at like, I know we've been back and forth in here, but like when people really come to me or I'm very good at absorbing hate because it's easy for me to go, I don't take that personally. Yeah. But if it's not hate, I see someone self-sabotaging and it's something that involves us together, that I take personally because I go, how am I making you this person? Yeah, that's where I start to take it personal, get really sad about things because I go, how am I making you behave this way?
You picked a really tough industry to have healthy relationships in. It's tough. It's the same as being an actor. Like, how often are you traveling?
I think about this all the fucking time.
How often? How many days a year are you on the road?
Yeah,
200.
Yeah,
I mean that's tough.
I know. I think about this all the time, and I go. You know, the happiest people I know are people that it's almost so funny that they haven't given up, and they go up. They go, just this is what I do. Yeah. I go, I wish I can't. Maybe that's my fucking fuck up is I cannot be that. I can't sit still. Yeah. I can't. I have to be working. I have to be moving. I have to be. But
that's an incredible
giving. I don't know if that sounds so dumb and so humble. No. I have to be out doing something with this thing. I feel like I gotta share.
But what a wonderful personal attribute if you can harness that and
paradox.
Use it. No, but like think about it. Like you have a battery. And everyone has a different size battery. Yeah. Different capacity, different power output. Like yours is just tuned to blast. Yeah. Right. So if you don't have a channel to focus that down, then that's going to go every which way like a fucking firework that's just like. But if you can go, I'm going to take all of that and hone it and put it into this one thing, then all of a sudden you can outlast people. You can do longer tours. You can do all these things because you have that capacity, that battery.
You just made me think about, I think, so when I start to get in a relationship or when I start to, like, I think all that channel and energy I put into like stand up and how hard I go into it and how much I give to it, it shifts to a person.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it's always great.
Yeah.
Because that person's never felt love like this.
And then you come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, then you come a lot, right?
Yeah.
But then you have all these, and they've never felt love like this.
Yeah.
And they think, and
Are you a love bomber?
No. I'm like, because
You're just all in.
Yeah. I'm not just all in immediately, but it is like very much like if there's traits I notice about a person, and if it just starts our back and forth, I start going, I'm gonna give this a shot. I don't know why I would like I don't bullshit. I'm not gonna be like, I go, here we go. And it's not love bombing, but it is like, hey, I'm ready. I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna give this a shot.
Yeah.
I'm very open about that up front, early. It tends, I think people, when I'm in that, it's awesome. And my best relationships have lasted, my friendships even, where I'm the same way. I don't hold back, right? When we talk about, that's why you were going, me are very great friends. We can have real, honest, hard. It's all love, right? And so I think with women, especially since we're talking about relationships in that way, they love it. And someone who maybe has damage in their own life, or they maybe have traits about them or things, past trauma, they love it at first because it feels great. And then the only thing that changes is they think it won't last. And I don't know how to convey, maybe I'm not there yet, or maybe I'm not good at conveying like this will last if you also help work. Like it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. And that's the thing is like, I think I'm just now realizing this talking to you, which is great, is I don't do a good job of helping them understand that if you also put the same, like I don't need the same work. If we just also put the effort in, this will last. This is not, I'm not going to change the way I look or behave towards you if you continue to be the person that I'm giving this to. And I think I don't do a good job maybe when I get into relationships and people start going, this is the best thing ever. And then one little thing happens and they go, here it comes. Here comes the avalanche. And I go, no, that's just, wow. I'm just not realizing that.
Cool.
Fuck you.
Love that. You gonna cry?
No.
You gonna cry?
I don't cry, dude.
You don't cry?
All my tears are cry.
Do you never cry?
Oh yeah, I cry.
Okay, I'm a crier.
Oh, dude, you gotta cry, bro.
100%.
People are so stupid.
What do they say?
You think
Tears
I laugh?
are lubrication for the soul.
Yeah, you think I laugh this much and don't cry?
Yeah. You're getting both ends of the
Yeah,
spectrum.
bro. I'm a crier. I cry. There's certain movies, when I first started dating a girl, there's certain movies I won't watch because I'll cry. And some of them are Fern Gully.
Oh, dude.
Fern Gully.
Don't even get me
I watched it
started.
the night, and I'm like,
Bro, I watched...
Robert Williams. First time I hear his voice, I start going,
Oh, 100%. I watched a commercial this morning that made me actually cry.
Burger King?
No, let me see if I can find this. It's a commercial. It's, oh God, like if I start talking about this, I might cry. It's an old man who's in his garage.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And he's lifting the kettlebell.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
And I don't even know what country it's from, but it's an old man and he's in the garage and he's lifting this kettlebell and it's really fucking hard. And then he drops it and he's like, fuck. And he tries again and he lifts his kettlebell and gets it a little bit higher. And then his old wife opens the door to the garage and sees him in there and kind of gives him a smile and closes the door. And then he gets the kettlebell a little bit higher. And then he gets it a little bit higher and he reaches it forward a little bit and he drops it. And he lifts it again and he reaches and he's struggling so hard. Then there's a cut where he's now lifting it up and holding it out for a second and then dropping and then lifting and holding it a little bit longer and shaking and fighting.
Oh, I do know this commercial. I know, oh God, I know exactly what you're
Dude. Yeah. And then you cut to, he goes to his kid's house and the grandbaby is there and he gives her this box and she opens it and there's a Christmas tree star. Yeah. And he goes and he lifts her up and he pushes her like this and she puts it like, dude, it's literally gonna make me cry. Okay, anyway. Anyway, back to talking about fucking bitches.
Do you remember that one time we did coke together?
Yes.
No, but I know, bro. I remember seeing that commercial, being like, "What the fuck is?" And then as soon as it cut to the family, I went, "Oh, I know what he's gonna do."
No, don't do it. No!
Let it be a beer commercial. He's looking at beer. Come on,
give him a stein in each hand. Like it's so much easier to palate. Come on.
Oh, I know. Yes, dude. Oh.
That's a tough one. I like legitimately was in bed, like looking at something on my phone, and that commercial popped up, and then all of a sudden I was in bed, literally going, I want to be a grandpa like that. Like,
It's weird. It's a Christmas. I'm watching it now. It's a Christmas commercial.
yeah.
Yeah.
She hangs
I
a
have
Christmas
seen it,
tree
yeah.
star.
I have seen it.
It's what?
Doc Morris.
I don't know what that is.
I think it's like an investment firm. So hold on.
Oh, never mind.
That just ruined it.
Oh, God damn you, producer.
Oh.
Producer Jerry. Producer Terry, more like it.
Yeah. I want to tell the story about the late start for the movie.
You want to?
Well, I think we both should.
Okay, I'll tell from my perspective how I learned about Armie
Okay.
Hammer.
If he tells this story, Jerry, I think we should cut it into where he was saying, the late start. Did you tell everyone about the late start in the movie? I think we cut this back to that.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents.
You got it.
So,
Take it away, Fonz.
yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I was excited to do this movie because I was going to be a director's assistant. I was going to be in the thick of it. Dakota Johnson, you.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's his name?
Brad?
Brad, yeah. Fuck, I'm
Brad.
so sorry.
What was
he?
his
But
last
he,
name?
I loved Fury.
Yeah.
So I was excited. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
excited to work on this. Could be a great picture. Great. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. It was shooting. I was like just excited to be like. They all were asking me questions about New Orleans. I love sharing my city, right? I love sharing. Like, it's my favorite thing, giving and sharing.
Shooting in Algiers Point.
Dude, what a fucking that bar.
That was the greatest bar I've ever seen in my life.
That's we would drink there a lot.
And then the one across the street too.
Yeah, no. That's the Point
one,
Bar. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
the Point Bar.
Dude,
I
is it
love
called
that.
Point Bar?
It's something like
But
that.
it's that because
It's
the bar across
it's
the
like
street is a vacant
dollar
bar.
PBRs.
Yeah, it's a vacant bar across the street where they shoot movies in New Orleans. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. And that bar across the street, the owner, it's just thousands of photos of different actors, directors, big time Hollywood people, because everyone has shot in that bar.
Yeah.
That bar is booked the whole year, all the time, getting shot in, right?
Never asked me for a picture for the wall.
Really?
No.
What a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'll bring him one. Just give me that one.
Yeah.
It's just a picture of his cock.
Yeah.
No, it's a picture of you. Look so young in that, dude.
So young. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Who's
was
the
years,
person holding you?
I was a couple years before we met. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the person holding you?
Great.
I would love to insert a picture of that. Yeah. Anyway, so
Wait, Jerry, will you grab me that picture real quick? Hey, Jerry, pull up that picture
hey, J-Mo.
Yeah. Put a
J-Mo.
PJ.
Oh, it crashes it.
Yeah. You didn't want that, did you? Yeah. This is the your comment of who's holding you. So good.
So yeah.
So we're shooting in this bar.
So no, but like I digressed. But so I'm excited, and they go, just the first rumblings of Hammer, Armie's gonna be late. And I go, I'm a naive. I have not even done. I've done weed and I've done like shrooms and acid at this point. I've heard about cocaine and all this kind of shit. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Okay. And so but I didn't think.
Think I got any ego left?
Sure, but like it's such a thing where like. I loved you as an actor, right? I really, everything you always nailed. You were so good. You're always so like, it seemed like you were you, right? You brought Armie was that person.
Yeah.
Which was nice. And you did everything so well. So I always admired you. So I never thought, I was like a naive kid. I'm like, he doesn't do bad things. And then like, he's sick. I go, oh, he's sick. And then the next day he's driving from Denver. I go, I love a road trip.
Yeah, Dallas. Well, I drove from LA, but I stopped in Dallas.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Denver, Dallas. I think because we talked about Denver earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love road trips, whatever. And so they go, we have to push back his physical. And they go, okay. And I'm like, isn't he here tomorrow? And the producer's like, we have to push back his physical. So, right? So I'm the one who schedules that, right?
Yeah.
Then the next day, 2 days go by, you're still not here.
Yeah.
But then I get a call at like 2 a.m. I need you to find, they don't tell me what it's for, I need you to find an IV place. It's open now. They can get to me at this address. I need this, we need this, we need this. So I'm writing all this down. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, God.
And then the next day, you're still nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
You're in town.
Yeah, I was in
You're
town.
in town. And then 3 days go by, you're finally in the office and you go to get your physical.
Yeah.
And you don't look bad. You look cautious. And then that's when I start going, oh.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then everything was fine, right? You did everything. But the behind what I didn't see is the story that what you told me when we last saw each other.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane.
Ridiculous.
And if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm driving to New Orleans to do this movie because whenever I would shoot a movie in America, I would always drive there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dude,
It's time to leave home behind.
You also start
to think about what I want to do, start to think about the character, time on the road, meditating, like making a very big sort of like, I'm leaving this person behind and I'm going to go be this person.
Nice. Yep.
And it was great. And it was going really well until I got to Dallas.
Which is so funny.
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of family in Dallas.
Dallas is a place I cannot go anymore.
Why? Because of this?
Because I have friends that you go, it's just they greet you with.
Oh, it's wild. It's wild. Dallas is wild.
Yeah.
So I get to Dallas. That's like my last stop before New Orleans. And I see a group of friends there. And they're like, well, let's have a night out in Dallas. And I'm like, great. At this point, I was having trouble in my marriage. Like things were not going great for me personally. Professionally, things were going as well as they could possibly go. But in my personal life, there was a lot going on that like I was deeply unhappy and unsettled about. And I didn't have the tools to make myself feel better. So I relied on external sources of feel good. Get to Dallas and they're like, we got all this feel good for you. And I was like,
it's like feel good comes from there.
Yeah. I was like, well, then I want all of it.
Yeah.
So huge night.
That's
lots of alcohol.
Cocaine, by the way.
Huh?
Feel good.
Oh.
Yeah.
It never actually made me feel good. It just made me feel anxious. But if I was like drinking, it would sober me up a little bit and then I could fucking drink more and then I'd get drunk and I'd do a little cocaine and then I could drink more and then I'd do a little cocaine and I could drink more.
Yeah.
Wow. And then by the end of the night, I've drunk as much alcohol as 4 normal humans and I've done, an 8-ball of cocaine. And I'm like fucking out of my mind. What I didn't know.
You have to be in New Orleans in like 9 hours.
Yeah.
An 8-hour drive, you got to be there in 9.
Yeah. And it's like now like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, oh, this is not good time management. So anyway, I drive to New Orleans in rough shape. I get there.
Did you, just because I'm curious, did you have any with you to help?
No, I don't think I brought any.
Oh, wow. That's actually crazy.
Yeah. Probably like
if anything, you're like
dash of the
well,
car.
just because I would think you're like, I know it sounds dumb. I need it to get where I'm going safely.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Hindsight's 20/20. Probably should have. But I got there, and as I'm pulling into New Orleans, I call my agent and I go, "All right, I made it." He goes, "How was the trip?" I was like, "Fucking great." He goes, "Awesome. So you've got your physical and your drug test tomorrow for the movie. So make sure you're there this time." And I go,
"Oh, so what? You had been in New Orleans? See, they made us think that you were not even there."
No, I was there.
Oh, because you were in Dallas. I thought it was Denver. But like, he's Dallas. He's driving from tonight.
Yeah.
And then they say he's not making. He hadn't made it yet. So
no, I
you
was
were there for like 5 days.
Yeah,
I was hiding.
I was hiding.
I didn't even know that.
I was hiding in my gymnasium house.
That's crazy.
Yeah, hiding.
Yeah.
Because my agent.
Did you go out at all?
No.
Okay,
dude,
so you were legit trying to get ready. Okay.
Dude, my agent was like, "You have a drug test tomorrow," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, well, it's an independent film, so when you get your physical, you have to take a drug test. You know this."
Okay.
And I was like, "I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this."
I'm big time.
Yeah, he was like, "No, you have a drug test tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh shit." So I wake up the next morning, immediately go to the drugstore, buy a drug test.
Quick insert. Were you cool enough with him to be like, "I can't take it tomorrow"?
100%.
Okay, so he knew the deal too.
100%.
Okay.
So I piss on this drug test, and it like I've never seen clearer lines.
Just flames.
Like it was literally like, this is cocaine in the cup. And I was
Get
like,
a little blood in your cocaine system.
yeah. So I called my agent and I was like, "I won't pass the drug test." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "If I go in right now, I will fail the drug test." He goes, "You can't do that." And I go, "What'll happen?" He goes, "You won't be able to work for 5 years."
Oh.
And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, if you fail to get bonded because of drugs, you cannot get bonded again for like years."
That's such a crazy parameter for Hollywood movies.
Wild, right?
When is that? Is that new? They could have done that in the 80s and 90s.
It's probably because of the 80s and 90s that they did it.
Great point, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, I take a drug test, fail. I call, "I'm not going to pass this test." My agent goes, "Do not go anywhere near it. Like, don't even show up. Don't do anything. You cannot risk failing." And I was like, "Okay." I immediately call a buddy of mine in LA who likes drugs. And I go, and he was a Marine. And I was like, "Hey, buddy."
Loves drugs.
I was like, "Hey, buddy, listen, I got a drug test and I'm going to fail it. Give me some fucking marine shit to pass this drug test. And he's like, go get a shitload of niacin and run a bath as hot as it will go and sit in that bath and take niacin and fucking sweat it out. You should be fine in a day.
Niacin induces sweat, I guess?
Niacin is just like, I don't know exactly what it
does.
It's
just, okay, it's like a detox
it clears you out.
Okay.
And so I was like, on it.
Shit in the bathtub.
Dude, I literally would sit in that bathtub for hours at a time.
Oh,
and it would get cold and I'd let the water out and fill it back up with hot water.
Just get back in.
Just sweating.
Red.
Beet red, sweating. Like watching my iPad in the bathtub and like my ex-wife is there, my kids are there. Like it was like a thing because they came to like meet me, right?
So she knew what was going on.
Yeah, and she was furious.
Rightfully
so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Like you're a grown-ass adult sitting in a bathtub for 7 hours a day. What is wrong with you? And by the way, she was right.
100%.
She was right.
Yeah.
So anyway, another day goes by of me sitting in the bathtub, fail a drug test, call again, still failing. He goes, fucking sort it out, bro. Go to a sauna, go for a run, whatever you got to do. So I'm out running in New Orleans in the heat and humidity.
Good place to sweat it out.
Oh, I was sweating.
Yeah.
Next day, still fail the drug test. Next day, still fail the drug test. Next day, still fail the drug test. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because cocaine's only supposed to be in your system. And I wasn't even like a big cocaine guy.
Sure.
But cocaine's only supposed to be in your system for like a couple of days.
Okay.
And they go, yes, cocaine is in your system for a couple of days. But if you take cocaine with alcohol, it turns into another thing that stays in your blood for up to 2 weeks.
They can test for.
Yes.
Wow.
And I was like, 2 weeks? I was like, we have to start a movie in like 3 days. And if I don't go take this physical, we cannot start the movie.
See, I did not know any of this.
It was a disaster.
So cut to the night. I guess don't cut to, but at this point, have you already gotten all the IVs and shit?
Everything.
Okay, so,
I've been doing all of it.
Now I know you're in town. Okay, I'm trying to just put myself where you were. Okay.
I'm going for runs. I'm sitting in the bathtub. I'm eating spicy food. Like whatever the fuck I think I can do.
Yeah.
Like if someone would have been like, here's a witchcraft thing you can do, I would have been like, fucking give it to me.
Best shape you were ever in.
What do you got?
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the producers, not Lucan, but a different one of the producers was like, finally called, was like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I can't pass the drug test. And she was just like, they were just like, oh my God. And I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, I didn't know I had a drug test. I'm not even a cocaine guy, but this shit's in my system and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And she was like, you have to take the test tomorrow. Like, if you don't take this test tomorrow, we can't get you bonded in time and we can't do the movie. And I was like, I'm still not testing clean. And she's like, you got to do it. So I call my agent and he's like, do not go in there.
Yeah.
Do not go in there. And I was like,
just miss this movie.
I was like, they're telling me I got to go in. And he's like, don't go in there. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So anyway, spend the night basically in a bathtub.
Yep.
In hot ass water.
Just sweating.
The next morning I wake up.
Sorry, man.
All good. Yeah. Next morning I wake up. First thing I do, piss on a drug test. Failed again. And I have the physical that day. But it was faint. It was really faint.
It's making me anxious.
And I was like, okay, I have to decide what to do here because this looks really faint. But I bought this at a drugstore. I don't know where they're going to get their test. And if it's more sensitive than this one.
Did you have to go, because I've just worked so often, I have to take drug tests. Did you go to a place or did they bring it to you?
I went and bought like from drugstores, like the.
No, I'm talking about for the actual one.
I went to a doctor's office.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's the same one. It's like in Metairie.
I don't know.
Okay, fuck it. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, I decided to go in. I was like, I'm going to go in. Like, I'm fucking rolling the dice here. I go in for the physical. I'm so nervous in the physical. Like, I'm literally like shaking. Could have been the come down from the cocaine. But anyway.
2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm shaking. And finally, I do the test and I pass. And like.
How fast did you find out?
Like a couple hours.
Okay, so that couple hours.
Oh, I was dying. I was like,
yeah.
I'm either going to pass this test and I'm going to go to work and do what I love, or I'm going to fail this test and not be able to work for years. Like, there's a lot of line. Yeah. I was like, nothing can ever stop me from working for years.
Dude, this thread has to be in Dry July. First of all, how do I not know this story? And secondly, why did not we put it in the fucking script?
We can definitely put it in the script.
Oh my God, it's got
Yeah, we'll put it in the script.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the script. We'll do a writing session on Wednesday.
Right.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, so passed physical and then immediately celebrate by doing all kinds of drugs the entire rest of the shoot with the producer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the first time I ever did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was, I don't know, I've lived in New Orleans. I don't know where he got that stuff, but it's, to this day, it's the best shit I've ever had.
I know, it was wild. It was wild.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I like, that's why I don't feel bad talking about this shit, because I go, it's like at no point is it like I'm not advocating for it, but I go, I did it. It was fun. We had fun.
Yeah.
We had so much fun.
Well, that's my point of even telling the story is I'm like, this shit is fucking tricky and it's hard. And I don't even do drugs anymore. So like, I'm telling you this as like a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
don't be stupid.
Be responsible with everything you do.
But by the way, it's really hard to do.
In certain towns, yes.
Just in general. You know, I don't know. I just don't think humans are wired for responsibility.
Good luck, kids.
Yeah, have fun with that one, dummies. Dude, this has been great. I've really loved this conversation. The way I always end the podcast is I flip it back around, where I say, you've been great. You've come all the way down here. You've answered all of my questions. Is there anything you want to talk about or any questions that you have?
No, because we know each other so well. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because I don't have to with dead air because we just cut this. So let me think. What's something I guess?
By the way, just as an aside, I love dead air in my podcast.
Yeah. I also
I really do because I look at it, and look, I've been doing this for 2 months. Like I'm not fucking great at it, but I'm getting there. But also, I look at podcasts like classical music, where it's like if a classical music song comes on.
This is the question then. This is what I'll ask you.
Okay.
Yeah. How much has this podcast helped?
In what sense?
Just you. How much has this podcast been kind of like when you started, what did you think it was going to be? Is it what you thought it was going to be? And how much, because you seem so comfortable.
Yeah.
Which you've always been a personal guy, but like, and I know you've talked about classical music and that kind of thing. How has this podcast helped? What about this podcast is soothing and great for you?
That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
The reason I'm asking, because last night I did a pod and I said I'm not doing great. It lifted my spirits just being around friends, laughing and talking.
Yeah.
And today, even right now, like I'm driving, I'm doing better. Every day goes by, but even now I'm just like, that's right. It's so that's why I could see how much when I was like, you're like, I love dead air. Here's why I'm like, okay, this is what I want to know.
Yeah.
How much has this helped and how much has this been helpful? Because this has been awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like I hate I don't want to seem cheesy and like this has been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very so thankful.
I feel the same way.
I knew we were going to come hang and I wanted to do it because like, I just wanted to see you.
Yeah.
If you're like, we can't pod, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Let's go get dinner. Let's do something, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, but like the fact that we got to do a pod, but I could see how much you enjoyed this.
I love it.
And how much you get into it. And it's been so helpful for me. So yeah, that's my question. How great has this been? How much is this different than you thought it would be? And how much has it helped?
I don't know that I even had an idea of what it would be when I started doing it, because I had a bunch of people be like, dude, you need to do a podcast. Mm-hmm. And I was always like, another fucking straight white dude with a podcast? Like, who gives a flying fuck?
Not that straight.
Yeah, straight-ish. Straight-ish.
Hollywood, everybody gay once in a while.
Everybody a little gay every once in a while.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's only gay if there's eye contact. But,
yeah, that's true. You've made a lot.
Yeah. And I do like eye contact.
Yeah. I'm very much like a roamer, just kind of thinking, and I'll always come back to you, and you're like, and I'm like,
Yeah. This podcast for me, because I didn't know where it was going to go, and I still don't have like a concrete plan of what I want this to be.
Yeah.
I know that I'm loving the fuck out of doing this because what I try to do on this podcast is exactly what I learned when I went through all the shit that I went through, which is I have to figure out me.
That's what I feel when I watch episodes and talking with you.
Yeah.
I feel you trying to be like, here's what helped me.
Yeah. And it's like, I learned that I don't have to care what other people think. It's very easy to let go of caring about what other people think when everybody thinks the worst thing about you. You just kind of go, oh, okay, I'm good. At least that was my journey with it. And the thing about it is like, I come on here and I talk about what I want to talk about. I bring on the people that I want to bring on. I'm not stunt casting this thing. I'm really just bringing in people that I want to have interesting conversations with. I also feel like this is a creative expression for me. Like, we get to make a podcast. We get to make something without anyone giving us permission to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the difference between the acting side, where you need 1 million people to give you permission to do it, or else there's no movie, and this, which is just me and producer Jerry in my apartment with construction lights and like...
Well, these are the best lights.
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
Husky,
yeah.
Husky.
Husky, dude.
Yeah.
I'm over from Milwaukee, man, but whatever.
Get out. Yeah. But the thing is that for me, yeah, have a seat. Now we're gonna get real deep.
Yeah.
For me, being able to be true to myself while being detached from the outcome of what will happen is such a huge muscle that I'm building right now, that this does so many things for me.
So why do you think you like Dead Air?
Because it's like classical music. If you went to an orchestra or you listen to classical music, it always starts and then it builds and then it builds and there's a little release. And then it builds and it builds and it builds. Then there's a little release. Then it builds to a crescendo and you're there and you're enthralled. And then the crescendo happens and then there's a release and it drops back down. And then you get a break. And then it starts to build again and you go, oh boy, it's building, it's building. And then there's a release and you go, oh, fuck. And then it builds again and you go, yeah. And then there's a release and you go, fuck. And then it builds again and then you go, yes.
Yep.
So the idea of it is a sex joke. I know you're trying to make
No.
Okay, but the idea is if it stayed level the entire time.
Our idea on this is so similar.
Yeah. Is that how you try to do your comedy?
So yes, finish. But
Yeah.
because
When
I'm just
we
kidding
first
because
started-
I've never heard anybody else explain it this way.
Yeah. When we first started doing our podcast, the first episode, I think we edited out all of the dead stuff and tried to make it just the top beats. But then it's just
A conversation like this doesn't feel like it's flowing.
Exactly, and it doesn't feel natural.
Mhm.
But now I told the guys, I was like, leave it all. Because whatever happened when we were talking is what happened when we were talking. And that's all I fucking care about. So
I think people really responded to just lifting the curtain and showing what happens. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, not,
when something fucks up, Jerry walks into frame to fix it.
Yeah.
When the mic goes out like this, that, and it's like, it's insider
Put the
baseball.
tape back up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But because it has that modulation, it's easier because life also does this, right?
Yeah.
Anything that just goes da 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 is unrelatable to us on a spiritual and like sort of like emotional level as a human because that's not how we operate.
Yeah.
So now when there's peaks and valleys and ebbs and flows, it feels like a conversation, which I like. I want it to feel like a conversation.
I have a pre-show playlist,
Okay.
and it's mostly classical music.
No shit.
Mostly classical music.
Can I get your playlist?
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love
And
it.
it's there's like a mix. There's like 6 or 7 long classical music songs in there.
Yeah.
And I also consider jazz classical music.
Me too.
So-
I love jazz.
Yeah, so there's jazz in there too. And when I'm doing spots, and I'll do it because I don't want to be that weirdo. Like, but when we're doing big shows, or when I'm doing like long sets,
Yeah.
I will put it in, and I just kind of go through the order of how I want things to go, not married to it. And so,
But you're visualizing.
visualizing the idea.
It's like a
of-
bobsledder who's sitting before the race going like this.
I go,
kind of thing.
yeah. So I go, how do I want them to receive me? And then how do I want them to, what do I want them to take away?
Yeah.
Because that at least keeps me in the middle
Yeah.
of like, that doesn't matter wherever else we go, as long as it ends up, we start it this way and we end that way.
Yeah.
So that's why Dead Air,
Love
I'm silent on stage. There'll be a lot of times when you could tell I'm thinking as I go, all right, this is how they're talking. Well, how would I think? And sometimes I've had people go like, woo, or like, they'll say something. I go, you don't believe me. I'm okay with the silence.
You know who used to do that? Did you ever read Steve Martin's book, Standing Up?
That's where I became comfortable with the idea. It's the only book I think I've read 3 times. Actually read.
It's
I
incredible.
give it to other stand-ups as a gift.
It like that taught me everything I know about stand-up. And I don't know shit about
Yeah.
stand-up. But like Steve Martin's thing in that book is I'm okay with the silence. And if I let this get awkward for the audience, they're going to laugh to dispel the awkwardness in their bodies. So even if I'm sitting there being awkward, they're gonna laugh because they don't want to be uncomfortable.
They don't make noise when I'm silent because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or if something so I got a big pop on something and I let it die down because it's just like the way I do stand up is right. That's
Yeah.
like the kind of thing is I go right. And
Yeah.
that's what gets like, I'm not saying right, but I'm saying like, here's the thing, and then here's why it's funny or ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they, oh yeah. And I let it die down and we move on.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like a thing. It's like, so anyway,
Well,
candles.
by the way, that's the junkie thing, right? Like if it hits that peak and you don't let it die down, and then you're like, keep it at the peak, keep it.
Yep.
What do I got to do?
Yep.
What do I got to do? The next thing, you're abandoning your plan. You're chasing the dragon. Let that shit die.
Yeah.
And then go see where it goes from there.
And that's why I'm so often, I'll have moments where people go, woo, or they go, I'll go, it's all right. So I'm just thinking, you guys can chill.
It's power, bro.
Yeah.
It's power.
And again, they go, but also puts them in a place where they go, yeah, He's got this.
Yeah. He doesn't need our help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're that's right. We're here to see him do the thing.
Yeah.
We don't know who he is, or maybe if I'm headlining, they bought tickets to see me.
Yeah.
But even if they don't know who I am, they go, I don't know who you are, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, take it away.
You know what I would love to do, and let's keep this part of the conversation in there, is like I would love to figure out if you know where you're going to be or anything like that, because we'll figure out when this pod's going to come out, and then before we do, give us some dates, give us some whatever, and then we'll put it on the post where it's like, you know, go see him here and there.
Is the Hollywood thing happening? The comedy the
Laugh Factory, that's tonight.
Can I come?
Oh yeah. Actually, let me check, because he said if we don't sell more tickets, Laugh Factory does this thing that like if they don't sell. Oh yeah, so I have the guest ticket link. I'll send it to you right now. I'll send it to you. I'll text it to you. Cool. Yeah, because I think I invited you anyway.
Yeah.
If you don't have plans, please come.
Yeah.
But
I might not be able to make it tonight, but you should definitely go.
Forward to him, and I'll be So this is live ticket. If he makes you pay for a ticket, you can give him my number.
I'll pay to see you.
No. Here's the thing. No, if it's just
we like supporting art.
I like supporting art.
Yeah, no. But here, I'm not gonna make you pay for a ticket. If you bring like 8 people, pay for some tickets. But no. If it's just you, or you bring like a wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, just text.
Hey man,
give
how
him.
do you know?
I saw. No, I'm kidding. Just give him my number, and I'll just put you on the guest list.
Great.
But yeah, so March 10th and March 3rd. March 10th, I'm in Houston at the Seat Group. So if anybody's Houston, I'm there.
Okay.
March 13th, I'm at Big Left Comedy Club in Fort Worth.
Great.
And then April, I'm in Durham, North Carolina. These are all, just go check out my website. Alex Cureau, which is Instagram, Storyville, my Storyville pod, where it's just me cutting out all the dead air.
By the way, I like your pod. It's fun.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's fun.
It's just a way for me to kind of just, it feels like a set.
It is.
It feels like I get to do a set.
Yeah.
So I very
That's
much,
great.
I love it for that. It's just a way to kind of make clips and you got to feed the algorithm.
That's it, dude.
But it has helped. I gained followers from everyone.
Amazing.
So it's working, right?
Amazing.
But yeah, so if you just go find me on Alex Cureau, my website, my Instagram, I post about my dates all the time. I have a flyer up there.
Great.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Go watch Alex. Go watch the Fonz.
Also, any movie that Armie has that's streaming, go watch it. Put his name in the fucking zeitgeist, man. He's a talented
Dude,
actor.
Wounds had a really good run on Netflix.
It did. It did. Was it
like
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know I knew it was on Hulu first.
Yeah, but then on Netflix, it was like a top 10 movie for
I didn't know that.
for like months.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Look at us. Look at us.
Look at us, dude.
All right, Fonz. Thanks for coming in, bro.
Just hug on camera.
Yeah, come on. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Come on.
Wow, you're sweating. Me too. I thought you were